All right, I'm live. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Eric. This is Video Lux Philippines. And I know I'm wearing weird glasses today, but these are gaming glasses. I forget the exact name of them, but they are blue light blockers. And I've been staring at the freaking screen for like 6 hours now, so I'm going nuts. All right, for recap, this is episode 2 in the Navigating Fears, Frustrations, and Desires series here of live streams for Video Lux Philippines. Last stream, we talked about navigating visa requirements and extensions. We talked about finding reliable and affordable long-term accommodations, and that falls under frustrations. We talked about desires, exploring hidden gems and off the beaten path destinations, and fears, concerns about personal safety and crime rates. So I'll put a link up to last week's live stream if you want to touch on some of those topics, although we touched on hundreds of topics because we were pretty much getting away from the script and sort of going with comments on the stream. So today I'll do things a little differently. I'm just going to bust through a couple of these things to get them out of the way, and then if you guys are still commenting, we can take comments from the stream. So let me just adjust this here. All right. Number 3 on the list of frustrations is coping with cultural differences and social norms. This is just difficult. We just had a discussion in the kitchen, actually. Like, she's got her cousin here, I guess, kind of working for her, right? Like, doing stuff around the house, cooking, blah, blah, blah. And the kid is like 18 and next to brain dead, like, in my opinion. And, like I explained, I'm like, this is how you cook a 10-minute egg. You need a timer. You have a timer on your phone, and it's like, how long has the egg been in the water? It's like, 10 minutes. It's like, no, not how long do you cook the egg for? How long have you been cooking the egg for? It's like, you can't have a conversation. The kid cleans up, which is great. Of course she gets paid, but it's like every day, nothing gets put back in the same place. So I go to look for the strainer. The strainer's usually here. Oh, it's not there today. Let's go find the strainer. Find the strainer. And it's just like, I try to explain. It's like, put things back in one place. The scissors go here, and I am the least ADHD person on the planet. Although I used to be, and I used to be like really freaky about it. But yeah, it's like, it's going to be rough. Like, I was reading a post earlier today, and we talk about this all the time. Wait line, patience, have patience. No, sorry, I get it. It's a third world country. It's global South. Wouldn't want to offend anybody. God knows people get butthurt if you call their country third frickin' world, despite the fact that it might have third world bureaucracies, whatever. Like, and the guys were commenting on the post, and they're just like, well, we come from a place where it's busy. We come from a place where, we don't have time to waste. We come from a place where time equals money. And I've talked about this before. Filipinos don't respect your time because their time isn't worth jack squat. If you were making, let me make sure this stream is public. I don't even know how to do that. Hold on. I'm assuming it's public. I don't even know.
Let me check.
Let's see. Settings.
Let me check.
It's impossible.
I think it is.
All right. So, yeah, the guys are like, we come from a busy, I guess, culture. We work a lot. We have to be on time for meetings. We have to be places. We get, paid for our time. We get paid for our professionalism. We tend to get paid a lot, and you show up. But here in the Philippines, no, your time's not worth anything. You get paid 500 pesos a day if you're lucky. That's what, $8-9, and
2,600 now.
All right, so they get paid $11 a day, and that's before taxes. So, and half of them aren't even working or getting paid less than that. So if you had to spend 8 hours in your job, the office, at the cashier counter, whatever it is you do, selling, I don't know, stuff at 7-Eleven, and you got paid $11 a day, yeah, you wouldn't really think your time is worth much, and therefore you probably wouldn't respect anyone else's time. The cultural barrier, it says dealing with language barriers in rural areas or coping with cultural differences and social norms. So the language barrier in rural areas, I mean, unless you're like deep in Visayas or deep in like Mindanao somewhere, and you don't want to be deep in Mindanao, we covered that on the last stream, right? It's a red flag area. The U.S. Embassy doesn't not permit, doesn't advise their citizens go there. Terrorist activities or freedom fighter activities, whatever term you want to use for people. I don't want to take either side of the struggle. Um, I've been in Visayas and had people like they don't speak English and they don't speak Tagalog, and then you're like, puede, it's like puede ba magtanong, and they're like, duh. It's like, but for the most part, like everyone speaks English. Like even in like I was in Panay Island that summer, and like all over it, the mountains, Aklan.
Hello, Ollie, Steve, and
Hey, Oliver, you're back on the stream. Nice to see you. Digital Nomad Traders on the stream. I don't know if you saw this last week, Oliver, but check your YouTube because I tried to tag you and Philly in the Philippines in my description, so it should show up in your mentions tab in your YouTube. I want to see if that happened. And Steven, you're on the friggin' stream. I just saw you sent me a voice message. I haven't listened to it yet because I'm on the stream, but ooh, wouldn't it be juicy if I played your voice message on the stream? Tell me if I can. I get some great voice messages from this guy. He's another American from New York that lives here in Manila. We're friends. So it's great to have two friends on the stream. Thanks guys for joining. The language barrier isn't really going to be a problem. The cultural barrier, for the most part, especially if you're a first-time visitor to the Philippines, you're going to find it charming, you're going to find it cute, you're going to find it mildly frustrating at best. It's not till when you start to have to get paperwork and start to have to pay bills and start to have to go to like government offices, and we're not talking immigration because immigration is usually a smooth ride, although they're giving people trouble now on renewals, and that probably has something to do with them banning the pogos and blah blah blah, and someone else. It was you, Steven, or no, it was someone else. I forget who was telling me. It was Cosmic Greg Lee. He was saying it's just a damn shame that the Philippines is screwing it up for their tourism. And I'm like, dude, the Philippines makes bad choices. Like they're trying to do well, they think they're doing the right thing, and they just end up screwing the pooch every time. So dealing with language barriers, rural areas, not really an issue, especially with Google Translate. And now they have the Babelfish. Like you're fine. Coping with cultural differences and social norms, that's like gonna be a headache. And if you are the kind of person that doesn't have a lot of patience, it's gonna be trying. It was trying for me, and had to get to a point with her, especially, where I was just like, you got to pick your battles. Like, I'll say something, she hears one thing, I meant another. She'll say something, I heard one thing, she meant another. Like the other day, she said something, this, and I'm like, I heard something, not this. So, like,
same thing to you.
yeah, we do it back and forth all the time. So, like, there's going to be minor frustrations, and when it comes to like couples and like having frustrations and stuff, you got to ask yourself. It's like there's two techniques. First, you got to say on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how annoyed am I? How frustrated do I sound? How loud is my voice? Did I react or overreact to that? Because you're always looking at managing your reactions in everything you do, right? It's kind of like the discipline mark of the man kind of thing. But it's going to be normal for couples to have a bit of fluctuation, like a little aggravation in the voice, a little frustration, a little like, stop, like on a level 1, 2, 3, that's normal. If it goes above that, you got to rein it in. But the other trick was to say, it's like on a scale of 1 to 5, like how important is this? Like if you realize, oh my God, she's frustrated now. I'm like, whoa, take a step back, count, tell me 1 to 5. If she's like, it's a 1, I'm like, all right, let's de-escalate this. It's not worth it, She's like, it's a 5, kill for it. I'm like, all right, let's have a conversation. The question: best month to go, the PH relax, but also bar hop. Well, it's going to be November, December, January. And I say November, December, January because they are the coolest months and the least rainy months of the rainy season. And it's also your Christmas party hype season. So
Ay,
October is going to be Halloween. Halloween's always a blowout. October, November, December, coolest months, least rainy months, and everyone's in a party mood.
climate change, no.
The only bad thing about that is traffic. Traffic is hell. So you want to, if you're going to stay somewhere where you want to party, you stay in Poblacion Makati, or you stay
Yes.
right in
BGC.
Forbestown or something. Uh, I think in the summertime, I love it here. It's hot as blazes. It's dry as blazes. If you want to party somewhere like Siargao, that's the time to go. That would be like February, March, April. February, March, April is going to be your hot summer Boracay party beach destination spots. Boracay, Siargao, even Puerto Galera. You're going to party. In the metro, I'm not saying you can't have a good time and that people aren't out and about, but also in the summertime, people go back to the province. So sometimes the metro is a little slower, especially around Holy Week. Never come to the Philippines during Holy Week unless you want one of two things: a cheap ass flight and a dead Manila slash a crowded beach, because that's all you have. It's either Manila's dead, the beach is crowded, but the cheap flights are cheap. Yeah. No rain or anything. Well, I'll give you an example, and this is our next topic from fears. Fear of natural disasters such as typhoons and earthquakes. All right. Second on the list, like we are on now on the tail end of what was a tropical depression is now being called typhoon like Enteng or something.
Yes.
And it's been 4 days of pretty consistent and often torrential rain, mostly overnight, but also off and on during the day. And if you look at like news feeds from Manila and you see that stuff flowing in on our Instagram friend post stuff, or whatever, you know, feeds that we have, Facebook, Manila floods. Like a lot of places in Manila flood. Will Poblacion Makati flood? No. Will BGC flood? No. Will Taguig flood? Depends on where you are. Like we had our street out here had at least 3 to 4 inches of water in it for half the day. When you want to go down to the market, you're either wearing waders, your throwaway, run in the rain tennis shoes, or slippers. For first timer, when I went there, I noticed everyone was staring at me. It took some time to get used to it. Yep, you're a foreigner, they're going to stare. For a lot of reasons. Mostly probably because they think you're pogy, which means cute or handsome. But you totally get used to it. Like a lot of the places we go, especially in here where I live, I'm like it's got to be like a 10 block area in this little village outside of BGC where we live. I think I'm one of 4 Caucasian guys that live here. And I've seen them like one time in the last year. Revis, thanks for joining. Drop your link in the comments later. I don't think you can put it in the stream, but because there were guys asking about CEBU on the stream last week, and I keep trying to put them onto you, but I keep not being able to find your channel. Like I got to make a note of it somewhere. So fear of natural disasters, typhoons, and earthquakes. Well, we get a couple earthquakes a year. I would say more than half of them I sleep through. Occasionally we're awake for one and we're like, huh? This on? What was that? Did something just happen? I've been in earthquakes that were pretty significant. Like you look out the window of your condo and you can see the condo buildings literally going like this. Like they sway. There are roof deck pools just splashing water over the side of the building. It looks like waterfalls coming down the side of skyscrapers because the building is swaying so much. Yeah, I mean, but is it a disaster? No. Does the street crack open? Not here in Metro Manila, not in BGC. Maybe in Leyte, maybe in Batangas. It's happened in Laguna. Like earthquakes can be a problem. I've never had a problem, and I'm going on 12 years. Typhoons, again, in the metro, it's a lot of rain. And if you're living in a slightly affluent area, like not Mandaluyong, where's it flood? Marikina. Marikina floods like a
American.
Marikina.
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 Americana. Marikina.
I mean,
Same thing with Quezon City.
because lots of lots
I
of
have schoolmates back in Quezon City. Their house inside is flood for
yeah,
5 days.
it's like up to their thighs inside the house. Um, but for the most part, areas around BGC, areas around Makati, Poblacion, Bel Air,
Thank you,
Century
James
City,
Bismarck.
you're not going to have any
Bismarck.
problems. The worst that you get from the rain in Metro Manila, and we've been here through some big, really gusty typhoons, is don't go outside when it's 70-mile-an-hour winds because something can blow into your face and take out your eye. Uh, just don't go outside, and make sure you have stuff in the house. And the rain isn't no so much a problem for flooding. The rain is a problem for getting a taxi. It's like if you want to go out at night and there's a torrential downpour and everyone in Metro Manila is trying to get a taxi, you're you're going to be out of luck. And I was saying this last time too, point to point transport in Manila, probably 60 or more percent, 60, 70% of the taxi services here in Metro Manila are motorcycle. And when it's torrential raining out, those guys aren't running. So there is a run on your Grab taxis. Let me check out the comments here for a minute. Sorry, my blue blocker glasses. Lots of new lounges and cocktail bars popping up in Cebu. That's what I was saying, Bravis. Like people are asking me about Cebu now, and I'm like, look, I can't really tell you. It's been years since I've been there, but let me put them on to you. Maybe you know what we should do a collab stream, man. Let's do that. Hit me up on whatever I'm on, Instagram or wherever we're connected. And Jacob wants to know, he's called Beavis. Bravis. Yeah, he posts Cebu content. James, thanks for weighing in. I'm glad to hear you enjoy the videos. Predator is a word Filipinos mispronounce, I've often noticed. Say it, baby.
Ah?
Say this word.
Predator?
One more time.
Predator.
Not bad.
Why?
Because people apparently...
Predator.
Oh, predator. That's why. That's what she's got. That's like saying...
No, I don't say predator. I do say predator.
Yes.
That's what I say, predator.
Predator. I am Antonio Banderas. I have a predator.
There's another one.
But I have a predator too. No, when I try to categorize something, I categorize it as a predator or a predator.
That's what I keep the categorize.
I'm not categorizing it. I'm categorizing it, just so you know. All right, what's next on the list? Desire. We talked about, all right, desires. Enjoying the vibrant nightlife in cities like Makati and Cebu. Like, that is easy as pie. Like, if I was going to advise you to do something, I'd be like, book a nightlife tour with us. We'll hook you up and we'll show you the time of your life. But come on, just check out any one of my nightlife videos on Manila and you'll see where to go. I put the name of the bar and the street usually in the videos. It's not like you need a nightlife guide to have a great time in Manila, especially if you're going to go-go bars. But you might want to talk to someone like me before you go to a go-go bar so you can walk out of there with your wallet or at least something in it. Or like I said, most of the guys that roll with me roll because they want to roll with a crew. It's not like they have a problem coming here alone. It's not like they've never been here before and just want someone to kind of connect with, which is totally normal. And I do that for a lot of guys. Talked to the other day. He's like, look, I'm kind of young. I kind of never been out of the country. I'm really interested in going, but I'm kind of wishy. I'm like afraid. Like I don't know what the hell to expect there. I'm like, don't worry, bro. I got you covered. Like literally, he rolls into town. I'm like, this is how you get from the hotel, the airport to the hotel. This is what you need to do. This is how you don't get robbed. I'll meet you when you get into town. And then I show him around. And after like 2 or 3 days, the guy's like, I'm good. And he has a blast. The next thing you know, he's dating Filipinas, How's the Philippines to visit the first week of October? Well, October actually, there's a market drop. So you get August and September, you get a very high rainfall amount. September it drops to 155 centimeters on average a year. And then October, it drops to something like 30 centimeters. And then, believe it or not, in November it drops to something like 5 centimeters, and then back up to like 15 for December. So October traditionally is a low rainfall month, but the weather starts to cool off. It's pretty good. So I would say the Philippines is great the first week of October. It's even better the last week of October because Halloween is All Saints Day, All Souls Day, and All Hallows Eve, and it's like a 3-day holiday here, and it's a massive party week. Yeah, Brevis. He says it's always better to go out with a group of guys. It puts the girls at ease, and you get to split the VIP table. Like when I met Brevis, that's what we did. Like, and we met very interestingly. I think we were chatting, like on comments or something online. Like I watched his YouTube video, he watched my YouTube video, and then the next thing you know, I'm walking down the street with a guy that I was on a tour with, and Brevis walks towards us, and he's like, "Hey, it's you," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, yeah, it's you," and he's like, "You mind if I join you?" I'm like, "Nah," and then we like blew out that night. We had a good night, and we've been friends ever since.
Where was that, baby?
That was we went to Khao Kai Chicken House for dinner.
Me?
No, you weren't
I
there
was
that
with
night. I forget who I was with.
your mistress.
All right, number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list of frustrations: avoiding tourist scams and overpricing. Well, this was another thing guys talk about. They call it a skin tax. They call it the white tax or the Caucasian tax or whatever. Um, God, it's been so many years since I've been here. I just haggle everything. Or I have her deal with it. We just go around like it's mostly the biggest problem is with taxis. Like you try to get a taxi and they're like 500, and you're like, no, meter plus 50. They're like, traffic. I'm like, okay, meter plus 100, which is like $2. And they're like, okay, like they just want a little tip, 50, 100 pesos, meter plus 50, meter plus 100. And if they're like, no, 500, I'm like, no, f you. I mean, I can get from here to like SM North EDSA for 500, less than 500 pesos. It's ridiculous to charge 500 pesos to go from the airport to Makati or from Makati to BGC. They're going to try. Um, Overpricing. I mean, if you're a visitor here, I mean, if you're going to buy anything big, chances are you're going to buy it from a dealership or a department store or whatever. And those prices aren't negotiable. It's when you're buying in the palenques. It's when you're taking a taxi. It's when you're, say, paying for a nightlife tour. Some Filipinas like $100 for a day tour. I'm like, that might be a little overpriced. You got to remember, they're making on average 600 pesos a day, which is $12. So if you're like, look, take me around, give me a day tour, bring me to the museum, I don't know, show me Intramuros, whatever. Your Intramuros tour is going to be what? 1,200 pesos. The guy's going to drive you around in a little taxi. You pay the girl another 2, 3, 4,000 pesos. That's like $50. Uh, if it sounds too much, it probably is. But if it's anything else, like a nightclub or a department store or a motorcycle dealership, I mean, price is the price, unless it's used, and then you're on Facebook.
Bars as well.
Yeah, bars. Like they're not gonna like say, oh, it's, you know what? Actually, you do kind of have to watch your bill in the bars.
Yeah.
Every now and then they'll throw like an extra bar drink on there or something, or an extra
Without
bar bill
asking your
drink.
permission.
Right. Or like you'll find like your beers are on your buddy's tab and his beers are on his tab as well. Like you got to watch your bills.
There's Filipino that we went to that go-go bar, and then he's a full Filipino, but then never visited Philippines by that time. He went to that go-go bar, and then when he was about to get out and bill out, he got like a 36,000 bill.
Yeah,
and then he said, "I only order one beer."
you really only got to watch your bill in go-go bars, and what you got to make sure that you do is you got to make sure you go to the right go-go bar. It's good to know someone there, like say someone like me or the owner or whatever. Oh, where's the mama son? Oh, where's the owner? And have a conversation with them. Look, I like that girl over there. If I buy her a drink, is that the only expense? No, you have to pay 10,000 just to sit with her. Like some bars are like that, especially like the casino bars and with the Chinese girls and all that shit. Like some of those girls is like 50,000 pesos to sit with her for 4 hours. I'm serious, and that includes all her drinks. Jay Fish, you're bringing out three of your friends for the first time. We're staying in Poblacion. What is the most underrated club bar there? Oh, it's I just posted one or two in a video. It's called the Funky Monkey Bar. Completely underrated. Completely dive bar. It was our lockdown speakeasy bar.
What is it? Funky.
It's George's.
Oh,
Uh, I got a recent video or two up that shows us there, and I got another one coming up that shows us there. It's the Funky Monkey Bar right off P. Burgos.
baby, I have to go now.
It's across from Sanctuary. I'll see you in a bit. Come on up when you get back, all right?
Bye for now.
Thanks for
See you
joining.
soon. But it's fucking raining. It's okay. I'm gonna shower in the rain.
Either way, make sure you hit the filling station. Yeah, the filling station is an incredible little spot, man. It's a little literal museum. Fucking peel the fingernail off. It's a literal museum of like a bygone era of Americana icons. It's beautiful. What is my take on Mindanao? It's on the U.S. do not fly list. Exactly. Yeah, some YouTubers say it's fine. Guys live in Davao. I think one or two of the guys on the stream here, Steven, if you're still on the stream, I think you were in Davao last year when you were here. Davao is safe. The safest city in Mindanao. My take on it has always been the same. It's on the no-fly list. If you go there, your insurance is null and void. If you get into trouble, you're going to have a problem with the embassy. You're basically taking risks to go there. It is what they call there is terrorist activity in Mindanao / freedom fighter activity, whatever side you want to take of it. They do kidnap foreigners, and especially Caucasian ones. Do they do it often? Not so much anymore. I mean, it was a war zone 4 years ago. There's 7,500 islands in the Philippines. You can find plenty of places to go without hitting Mindanao. That's my take on it. Thinking about getting a hotel 1 street over from P. Burgos so that everything's walking distance. Yeah, that's usually how I roll. It's either, yeah, I mean, 1 street over, 4 streets over, it's all walking distance there. Like, I'll get Airbnbs at the Knightsbridge. I got friends on the stream here, like Digital Nomad Trader, right? He's in. I keep forgetting the name of your building, bro. Gramercy. Across from Gramercy is there's forget the name of the hotel. There's City Garden Grand. There's there's a ton of hotels here. And yes, walking distance is good, especially towards the end of the year because traffic sucks. Like even just getting a taxi from BGC to Makati in December during Christmas, it can take an hour. Like an hour to get the taxi and then another hour to drive. And it's 6 kilometers. Like the other night, I made that ride 6 kilometers on a motorcycle, 19 minutes, 120 pesos with a tip. That is exactly $2. Be safe, all right? Does your health improve living integrity, Phil's versus USA? Hell yeah, man. Like, dude, I'm solid as a rock now, bro. I'm doing like 150 push-ups a day. I'm getting all my protein. I eat. Did you ask me something?
Yeah, what do you need something? Collect it.
No, just the tape. But we'll get that later. All the food is literally organic or fresh or whole foods. They have crap food here. They have ultra processed food here. They have shit food here. Like it's like anywhere. But the difference is you can go right down the street to the market where she's going now. Fresh tomatoes, fresh onions, fresh garlic, fresh kangkong, fresh, chili leaves. She's going now early in the morning. It's not actually that early anymore, but all the fresh fish is out. We only eat whole foods, and the whole foods are accessible here and they're cheap. Try to buy that stuff back home, and it's so much more expensive, and it's a hassle. At least for me, it was. It's not like we don't eat out. Once, maybe twice a week, sometimes. But for the most part, we cook all our own whole foods. I've been on keto for 2 years, and I'm actually moving towards carnivore. I've lost 60 pounds since I came to the Philippines. I was in pain when I came to the Philippines. My back hurt when I came to the Philippines. My hips hurt, but I've been beaten up. I'm a 3rd degree American Kempo Karate black belt. I've been fighting. I dislocated my hips. I hyperextended my hip flexor. My shoulders were shot from hitting the heavy bags. Now all that's rehabbed. Now I can swim 5 kilometers a day. Um, I have some vices though. I gave up, all the soda, all the sugar, all the breads, and all the pastas, and all the rice, and all the shit. But I still drink coffee, booze, and vape. I even gave up cigarettes. I mean, every now and again, I'll have a cigar. The health definitely improves, specifically because you're getting a lot of sun. Sunshine is underrated. Sunshine is an essential nutrient. If you're not getting sun, you're going to have a compromised immune system. You're not going to be able to adjust your circadian rhythm properly. Sleep, sunshine, whole foods, and being in a calorie deficit made all the difference for me here. Like, I am not kidding. I weigh less now than I did in high school, and I'm keeping it off. And I do drink quite a bit, actually. Uh, what have you found the best way to increase your energy? Definitely more protein. But you don't actually get energy from protein. You get energy from carbohydrates. So when you're talking about energy, so there's a new drink that we're making now. We went to the Palenque the other day. I bought 4 like gigantic ginger roots, right? Blended them all up with 2 cups of water, maybe 3 cups. Added 4 fresh lemons, heated some of the juice, melted like, I don't know, let's say 10 tablespoons of natural bee honey in it, and then add cayenne pepper. Dude, that drink is the spiciest thing that you could ever imagine. Even before you add the cayenne, just that ginger root juice is amazing. Uh, I drink like half a glass of that in the morning and I am charged up. Fresh ginger root juice with lemon, real honey, like bee honey, and cayenne pepper, and it's going to do wonders for yourself. Um, it's better than coffee. I drink coffee because I like the taste, but mostly I drink. I eat a. You want 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and you want to do resistance training, and you want whew, and you want good carbs like broccoli, cauliflower, kale. Now, okay, there's weird science about how kale is not good for you. In other words, you want green leafy, what they call cruciferous vegetables. You want things that have fiber in them. I would say carrots. Carrots have a lot of fiber, but they also have a lot of sugar. Eliminate sugar. Rule number 1: eliminate sugar. Rule number 2: 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day, especially if you're resistance training. Rule number 3: eliminate all high glycemic index carbs, or most. Most. Um, what would rule number 4 be? Always be in a caloric deficit. Like, I'm on keto, man. I'm almost never hungry. Almost never hungry. Because I'm fueling my body from ketones as opposed to glucose in the bloodstream. So increasing energy basically means don't eat until you're full. When you eat until you're full, you're like, I'm so I'm bloated. I gotta lay down. I don't feel like walking around. I'm so full. I never eat until I'm full. Well, it's like 3 times a year maybe when we go to the Solaire buffet. Speaking of which, Oliver, or next time we go, man, you gotta come with us. It's awesome. Plan to move to Cebu in April. Annoying part: need a renewal visa every 2 months. Yeah, unless you get like an SRRR visa or retirement visa or marry a Filipina. KC, you're welcome. Thanks for watching, man. Feel free to kick in a what do they call that? A super chat on a live stream. Follow me. Join as a channel member. That kind of stuff. All right, let's get back to the list. Facing legal issues or problems with local authorities. Fear number 4. Well, why are you going to get into a legal issue? Like, really, think about it. You're going to get into a legal issue if you're drunk and disorderly in public, okay? You're going to get into a legal issue if you get into a fight, okay? You're going to get into a legal issue if you're driving illegally, say, or you interact with an underage person or prostitution, basically. All right, so how do we get out of that? Is one, avoid all of that shit. Like we go out and we get smashed, and we're drunk and loud and in public all the time. We're walking down the street with bottles of booze, like that's normal. It's when you're out of control and you're like slapping people on the back and you're like, hey, buddy, and you're in people's faces or you're touching people when you're drunk and sloppy. That's not cool. I actually don't, I do touch a lot of women that I meet. Um, and I'll even touch them like on the waist or give them a tap on the butt and all that stuff. And that shit is just actually not really cool, but everyone's so friendly here and they've got their hands all over you and you're drinking and they're hanging out at your table and like it's not like I'm grabbing them or like caressing them or anything. It's just like a little tap or a little, touch or something. But normally in a club or in a crowded bar or wherever, when I'm moving around, I kind of move around like this. I'm like, my hands are up. I'm not touching anybody. I'm just coming through. So watch your hands. Don't get in a fight. Like some guy called me out in freaking Canto freestyle the other night, like yelling at me across the fucking place. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it at first. I'm like, me? Like, surely thou jest, my good man. Like, what the? And then I'm like, bro, I'm like, just like really, just cycle down over there. And then Nikki's like, oh, I'll handle it. I'm like, no. I'm like, guard. I'm like, Kuya. And we tipped the guard when we went in because we were a big crowd and he got us a good table. I'm like, can you get rid of him, please? And like literally the guard walks up and says, sir, you have to leave. You have the guard handle anyone gets in your face in the club. Hey, bro, I don't want any trouble. You know what? Let me get you guys a beer. In the meantime, excuse me a minute. Guard, get rid of him. And that's why I always say tip the guards. Like we walk into a club, the guard will be like, hey, Kuya. And I'm like, hey, slap. Here's 50 pesos. That's $1. Here's 100 pesos. That's $2. You tip the guards and then they watch out for you at your table. And if some guy comes over and he starts getting in your girl's face or getting in your face or whatever, I'm like, Kuya. And Kuya comes over, he's gone. Matter of fact, sometimes you don't even have to call them. They just walk over. They're like, you're out. Like I've had that happen on a number of occasions. And then tip the guard another couple hundred pesos. It's easy to avoid trouble here. The thing that you got to remember is that people don't want trouble. They're here in the Philippines to party and have a good time. Always check a girl's ID. Make sure she has ID. Always check it. I would say don't engage in prostitution, but I mean it's the Philippines and it's quasi illegal here.
Saturday. I'm gonna put gravity.
No, it's fine, dude. Whatever.
Swim in the rain. I am gonna swim.
It's still raining here. It's been 4 days.
In the rain.
So a couple times, like there's like on the street or like in these little like corner spa spots, like the girls will be outside. They're like massage her, massage her, massage her. I've gotten massages in places like that. It's 500 pesos for an hour massage. I set the rules straight up front. I'm like, look, happy to get a massage. I want a good, long, therapeutic massage. No extra, no hanky-panky, no take your clothes off, no nothing. I want a massage, and if you can give me that, you'll get a tip. And I would say 1 out of 5 times at the end, the girl will be like, she'll give you a little caress, where, and be like, you sure you don't want anything else, sir? And you'll be like, no, I told you, no. We're done. I'm out. And then some of them are pushy. I've had that happen. Like they'll either give you the caress or they get pushy. They're like, come on, sir, please, just one time, like extra, sir. I'll give you, this. I'll give you that. We can do this. 1,000 only, like. And then that leads into the horror stories where I've had guys tell me that they've gone into little spas like this. This is Poblacion Makati. Where then they get in the room and then like 2 girls will come in and he'll be like, no, I just want a massage. And then like when he tries to leave, the mama-san will be like, oh, well, you had 2 girls. You have to pay for 2 girls. And if you don't, we're going to call the police. Like, you just don't get into a shady situation. If you want a massage, there's 100 Telegram groups where you can just order a massage girl to your room, And she's like up front, it's going to be more. So instead of your 500 peso hour massage, you might pay 800 pesos for it. She comes to your room, you get the massage, you're done. Like, or you just go to a regular spa, like a Nuat Thai spa or something. That's how you avoid trouble in the Philippines. Like, don't get drunk and stupid. Don't mess around with underage girls. Don't pay girls for action. I mean, unless you've clearly vetted them and checked their IDs and made sure that they're not like in some little creepy spa somewhere. Uh, don't get in fights. Tip the guards; they'll take care of you. I got guys that I take out all the time. Like they're high rollers and stuff, but like as soon as they walk in, the guards will be like, "Oh, here's your VIP table, sir." And the guy will reach in his pocket. He's got like 500 for this guard. He's got 1,000 for this guard. He's tipping them well, and like literally, the guard will stand there all night like this at your table. You got no troubles. Um, let's check the comments here. What Filipino dish do you like for maintaining your keto diet? Well, I don't like a lot of Filipino food at all. Um, she cooks coconut curry dishes and or coconut milk dishes. So like I'll do coconut milk or coconut curry with either chicken or fish. We got a lot of fresh fish in the markets here. Um, I guess the manner in which she prepares the coconut and the coconut curries are somewhat Filipino, but they're also slightly reminiscent of Indian dishes and or Thai dishes. I don't eat any of the noodle stuff. I don't eat any of the pork stuff. Every now and again, I'll splurge like some street food. I'll get some fried street squid. It's pretty low carb. If you only eat, 5 or 6 pieces, I'll get one of those what they call spicy dynamites, which is like a lumpia wrapper with the green chili pepper and a little cheese. 2 or 3 of those isn't going to kick you out of keto. I don't eat pork. I try to avoid fried. Anything fried, I try to avoid. No fries, nothing like that. Um, well, that's not true. It's not like I won't have a bite or two of fries here or there, but it's not like I'm ordering fries or cooking fries. I'm not a big Filipino eating guy. I'm more of a whole foods. Like we go down to the market, I'll slice up tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, I'll throw them in a bowl, a little extra virgin olive oil, a little lemon juice, a little garlic powder, and some apple cider vinegar. That's a salad with a side of cooked fish. Like that's dinner. Breakfast is always eggs, 3 to 6 eggs, sometimes with homemade chili. Is it worth moving to a keto diet for weight loss? How does it change your body? Okay, so keto. Well, there's so many schools of thought here. First of all, you've got guys that'll tell you, don't get on any diet that has a name. Okay. So that being said, if you're not getting on a diet that has a name, what are you doing? There's only 3 things you need to do to lose fat and or gain muscle. Okay. One, be in a caloric deficit. And that means you eat less calories than you burn. And I don't mean for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. I mean for like the rest of your life. Okay. Like I'm in a caloric deficit probably 6 days a week because they say sometimes you should cycle off that because it tells your body, don't become insulin resistant, don't, get used to running on less calories. Like you want to cycle it a little bit. So 5 or 6 days a week, you want to be in a caloric deficit. But if you do that, you're not going to be able to build muscle unless you're in a protein surplus. So rule number 1, caloric deficit. Rule number 2, protein surplus. Rule number 3, weight training. And that just, I mean, for me, that's push-ups, dips, crunches, squats with a tire, curls. Like that's it. Now, what does benefit does keto bring you? So keto brings you a rapid weight and fat loss. Okay. If you're in hardcore clean keto and in a caloric deficit, which you'll be able to maintain in keto because you don't feel hungry in keto because of the ketones. I was in Boracay for 16 weeks. I was on hardcore keto in a caloric deficit. I had no alcohol, no sugar. That's the hard part about keto is no sugar. Like no sugar and under 20 to 50 grams of carbs a day, depending on you. Some guys can do 30 carbs. Some guys can do 40 carbs. Some guys can only do 20 carbs. You got to limit your carbs to 20 grams a day. And you got to measure your carbs through what they call fiber. There's a fiber calculation to go into there. So 20 carbs of white bread is completely different than 20 carbs of broccoli. Okay. Um, I think they call them net carbs. So 20 grams of broccoli or 20 carb grams of broccoli probably will end up being something like 7 actual grams of digestive carbs because of the fiber. You're going to get a lot of energy. You're going to have so much energy. You're not going to have trouble. You're going to have trouble sleeping. You're The 16 weeks I lost 32 pounds. It was 17 kilograms. So I was literally losing a kilogram a week. And I was losing fat. Like I look close to what I looked like when I left that summer, but I was much more cut, like very lean, very very lean after 16 weeks of hardcore keto and no alcohol. Um, and I was also swimming like 1 to 5 kilometers a day and in the gym 4 days a week. Uh, but in 3 or 4 months, in 16 weeks, you can transform yourself. Like I lost 30 plus pounds, and and this is the other pound thing. Like, don't worry about pounds. Like my body weight dropped 30 pounds, but did I lose 30 pounds of fat? Did I lose 20 pounds of fat or 40 pounds of fat and gain 10 pounds of muscle? Like, it's not so much weight, it's inches and BMI. Not that BMI is an indicator of health, but you're going to know when you're lean. You're going to know when your pants fit better. You're going to know when your gut goes away. Is it worth it? It was totally worth it. I was like, after that 3 years of lockdown, I'm like, I need out of Manila. I need a break. I need a total change. I got the total change. I went on hardcore keto. Like I was at the point where I'm getting like man boobs. I'm like, no, I don't want to be the 50-plus-year-old guy with fucking man boobs. And I did something about it, and now I don't got man boobs. So yes, keto will change your body. It'll make it leaner. It'll make it stronger if you're in a protein surplus. Uh, as a keto carnivore, when I can get good steak, changing your diet to more meat, no carbs, and no sugar gives you a lot more stamina, less hungry, and less brain fog. Yeah, like I've been I've been looking at going towards carnivore. Uh, I don't know. I haven't gotten to the point where I've scheduled it and or budgeted it yet because prices are different here. Like eating the palenque, eating like market fish and market chicken and lots of like normal vegetables and stuff and eggs. Like I eat like 60 eggs a month at least. Probably more like 90. Uh, yeah, yeah. You need protein. You need at least a gram of protein per pound of body weight. All right, back to the list. Number 7 on frustrations. Understanding local transportation options. It's a good subject. Well, in Metro Manila, you've got point to point taxi services. That means Grab, Move It, Anchus, Joyride, and there's a new one, I forget. And all but 2 of those are motorcycle taxis. So Grab and Joyride, you can get an actual 4-seater or a 6-seater car. Okay. And they're going to be relatively cheap. I mean, taxis in Manila are how we do it. Like Grab taxi, I order a Grab. If it's rush hour to go to here to Makati, I might pay $5 or $6. On the way home, it's not rush hour. I pay like two bucks, $3 maybe. Everything else is motorcycle taxi, which are super cheap and super fast. Not good for super heavy or tall guys, I would imagine, or guys that are concerned about messing up their hair because you have to wear a helmet. Uh, it's pretty much good all the time, except for when it's raining. Rainy season and lots of rain will severely limit your ability to get a Grab and or just increase your wait time. Like when we go to meet somebody and it's raining, I'll order the Grab like 45 minutes to an hour before we plan to leave. Um, what else? Avoiding that was understanding local transportation options. All right, so that's in the metro. Okay, Now, say you're in Manila and you want to go to Bulacan. Okay, so that's outside of the metro area, so you're going to pay. I think it's an additional rate for your grab. I think it might even be double. Um, but I've taken taxis from Makati to Bulacan, or not taxis, but grabs, and I paid like maybe 800 pesos, like $15. And that's not a short ride. Uh, Now, when you get into the province, things are going to change. Because, guys, here in the metro, you're not going to be taking jeepneys. Like maybe if you're on Makati Avenue and you want to go from Poblacion up to Ayala, sure, jump on a jeepney. It takes you straight up. You're done. Like that's quick and easy. Um, Sometimes we just walk down the street and get one of those little tricycle things. The tricycle goes the back streets up to BGC. We'll get out at the mall. Uh, if you're in like Boracay or you know, Bantayan or, islands that are smaller, Porto Galera, you're not going to get taxis. And there is no grab service. Like, there's just guys sitting around in tricycles. You walk out of a place, they're like, tricycle, sir. And you're like, okay. They take you where you want to go. That can be limiting and or frustrating and slightly uncomfortable. And if you have trouble getting down low and into a damn tricycle and then jolting around in it, like, might be less than ideal. And that might be a number of reasons why when guys go to places like Boracay, they stay at higher end spots that have like a shuttle. If you want to avoid that stuff when you go to a Boracay or a Siargao or a Bantayan or wherever, make sure you're staying at a nice place that has a shuttle that picks you up when the ferry drops you off or the plane drops you off or whatever. Otherwise, you're stuck on a motorcycle or a tricycle. Yeah, the fruit thing. Giving up fruit was hard for me because I used to do banana protein mango shakes, and I'm actually thinking about getting back to them because I'm less concerned about being on keto now than I am about making sure I get a protein surplus and a calorie deficit. And if I have to get some fructose in my diet and it might knock me out of keto a little bit, I think I can manage that. I mean, keto was the Kickstarter for me. It helped me get the 30 pounds off. It helped me, get back into the swimming, fighting shape, and it helped me maintain. But now that I'm good with not eating, cakes and sugars and chocolates and rice and bread and all that crap. Now that I'm used to it, I think I could manage to add some fruits back in, especially watermelon. I was actually thinking about doing a watermelon fast. All right, that was number 7 on the frustration list: understanding local transportation options. Last stream we talked a bit about the so now on desires, finding affordable long-term rentals in prime locations. That's a lot, actually. But the basic bottom line advice that I give a guy is get an Airbnb that you think you like. Shop around. Try not to pay too much for it. Don't be surprised if it's a little more expensive, maybe like 50 or $100 more a month than you want to pay. But remember, that Airbnb you're paying for in BGC or in Gramercy is the equivalent of like a midtown Manhattan penthouse right in the center of everything, some of the hottest city in the world, and you're paying $500 or $600 for it, as opposed to 4,000, 5,000 for a studio in Manhattan. So yeah, living in BGC is like the equivalent of Midtown Manhattan, like Central Manhattan. Living in Makati, it's like the equivalent of living like in the village, you know. And there's no way you're going to live in a condo in the village with an incredible view, a pool, and a gym for 400, 500, $600 a month. So what you do is you get a month rental. You look on Airbnb and you look for the deals where they say if you book before September 20th, it's 20% off, and then you book 3 months, and then you get 3 months at 20% off. Like there's ways to do it, but it's unless you're going to pay a realtor and to negotiate and deal with all that. or scour the Facebook market pages or look at the websites and then go and see condos. Like eventually, at some point, that's what you got to do. You got to hit the bricks. You got to schedule to see condos. It's not necessarily easy. We talked last time about the rentals. We talked about the long-term leases. We talked about needing bank account. It can be a headache. It can be a headache for a long-term lease here. That's why guys do Airbnbs. And if you don't like your Airbnb, switch. But as soon as you enter into that lease, now you're talking security, first month, last month, and guaranteed they're going to swipe half your security deposit on the way out. Oh, sorry, you didn't clean the air conditioner. Oh, sorry, you didn't clean the grease trap. Oh, sorry, we're Filipinos and you're a Caucasian, so that's your skin tax. Like, I'm not. I'm just saying from experience here. Uh, September 8th, bro. That's like next week. I'm sure you'll love it, man. Oh, dude, Frankie, I didn't know you were in Guam, bro. I think you told me that once before, though. Are there some condos in BGC or Makati that have bad reputation in terms of cleanliness, pest control, plumbing, or sewage? Yes, there are. Damn straight. I think the rule is the older the building, the more issues you're going to have. I'll give you an example. BGC, the last condo we lived in, it was the cheapest condo I'd ever lived in BGC. I got it at even a cheaper rate, probably 40% of what they were asking because I booked it during lockdown. Like my lease was up in one. I was so sick of them. It was a mega world building. It was a beautiful building, brand new, wonderful facilities. And you couldn't do shit in it except be locked in your condo because of all the bullshit mega world adherence to lockdown rules. Whereas other condos were like, no, it's okay, have a visitor. No, okay, you can schedule time at the pool. Like there was some leeway with these condos. So we lived in Tryon for a year during lockdown, and there were issues because of lockdown. But that building is an older building, it's a cheaper building. There's a lot of people in those buildings, and there was a roach problem. That'll happen. But I've had roach problems in some of the nicest condos in Eastwood City. So, and I don't mean like giant roaches, I mean the little ones. Uh, Look for a condo that has a garbage chute disposal. A lot of condos will just have you put your trash outside the door and some guy comes and collects it. Or they'll have a trash room and some guy will come empty it. Anytime trash is sitting in a trash room and or outside your door, you're going to get insects. Um, Plumbing is hit or miss. I mean, I've never really had plumbing problems in a condo except for the grease trap. And then you either just clean it or pay someone like 500 pesos to clean it. Sewage, again, no real issues. There's one in Forbestown that Matt told me to stay away from. And I've been in there a couple times. I didn't think it was that bad, but I never lived there. Can't remember what it's called. It's one of the older ones though. All right, next on the list. Oh, desires. Building relationships with Filipino partners. Now, we've been talking a lot about this, not only with Nikki, but Oliver was on the stream and Steven, who was on the stream earlier. And my other bro, like, how do I say this? 10 years ago, the Philippines was like, field of dreams, man. Like, you could come here, you could meet a sweet Filipina. She'd like only ever talked to foreigners online. She'd never actually met one. She definitely never slept with one. She was shy. She was, open minded. She was easygoing. She was fun loving. Like, you could meet super sweet Filipinas like by swinging a cat. And then Instagram happened. And once Instagram happened, everyone's like, oh, I'm Insta famous. Oh, I've got filters. Oh, I'm so hot. Oh, wait, guys are messaging me from Monte Carlo, like, babe, you're so beautiful. I'll send you, $10,000 and a plane ticket, and you come stay on my yacht for a month. And then all of a sudden, they've got 5,000 followers, and they think they're the cat's meow. And then they have a big sister who's like, oh, I met a foreigner, and he pays me. Because a lot of foreigners do that. I got buddies here that have big businesses, good businesses. They make a lot of money. They're like, I don't want to date. I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want bullshit. They're like, I want young hot girls, and I'm happy to pay for him. And that's what he does. He goes on dating sites, meets hotties like 18, 19, 20, 21-year old, like super slinky, hot, alien looking cuties that like are still in college. They're like, well, so what? You're going to be my sugar daddy? And he's like, yeah, you're going to be my sugar baby. And like, and he arranges everything and he puts them in a rotation. Like, I'm serious. These girls think it's a business now. Dating a foreigner is a business. And they're probably not just dating you. And that's why they say, bro, she's not yours. It's just your turn. Because when you leave the Philippines, she's got the next one coming in. And she's probably got 2 or 3 on hold that are sending her money while you're taking care of her. That's why you can't see your phone. And we talked about vetting in the last video. Vetting your girl, rule number 1. When you're ready to move her in, when you're ready to go serious, you only got to ask her one question. Honey, can I see your phone? And if she doesn't let you see your phone, then she's out. Like, look, if you don't trust me to look at your phone and see who you're talking to and who you're chatting with while I've been courting you, then I don't trust you to be my girl and move in with me. So get lost. Works every time. But does that mean you still can't find a nice Filipina, the one that's uncorrupted? And we use that term now, corrupted. Filipinas in the metro and Filipinas in today's social media lifestyle and Gen Z Filipinas are corrupted. They get corrupted by their friends, by their Instagram, by their, the woke ass shit where they're like, girl, you better get a man to pay for that kind of whatever shit that they see online all the time. And they're always working it. Like I had some girl I met on a dating site the other day. She seemed sweet. She seemed nice. Lied about her location, of course. Just as I'm about to blow her off because she lied about her location, she's like, "Oh, it's my birthday." I'm like, "Oh, hey, cool, happy birthday." And then the next text that comes in is, "Where's my present?" I'm like, who does that on their birthday? Like, I don't know. I kind of consider that to be like presumptive and rude. I'm like, first of all, I don't know you. I never met you. We're just chatting, and I don't have a damn present for you. Like, the hell do you think? Like, oh, I planned before I met you to rush out and buy you a present the day before I chatted with you. It's like, what are you thinking? And this is not the first time that Filipinos will do that. They're like, they'll come up to you, be like, "Oh, Merry Christmas. Where's my present?" Like, same place my present is, honey. Or same place your present is. Like, no. And then the girl's like, "Oh, okay. Well, how about just sending me some money for a cake?" I'm like, no. Go away. Good luck. Have fun. Have a good birthday and find someone over in Tagaytay or wherever the hell you are to buy you a cake. And then I deleted her contact. But can you find girls that are sweet and wholesome and nice? Shit, yeah. In the province, like go to Iloilo, go to Dumaguete maybe. Although that might be starting to get corrupted because all the foreigners that don't want to deal with Angeles or Subic or any of the other like foreign sort of retirement hotspots, they're going to Dumaguete. But I met the sweetest girls in Iloilo, like girls that would travel with you. Um, and I went to Isla Gigantes with this girl I met in Iloilo. She was wonderful, sweet, clingy, nice, kind, smart, uh, and totally uncorrupted. I was like the first foreigner she'd ever met. Um, Even probably in Cebu, Bohol, definitely islands like Leyte or Romblon or Puerto Galera. Like not that half the girls in Puerto Galera aren't working in Sabang, and you would want to avoid them, but the ones that aren't working in Sabang, the ones that are like have normal regular lives there, those girls are really sweet, man, and they're hard to land because they don't want a short timer. They want a guy that's living there that's going to marry them. You can find and build relationships with Filipino partners. I've been with this one for 5 years. It wasn't always easy. I had to lay down some ground rules. I had to break some bad habits. I had to put up with a lot of nonsense. But in the end, like we saw eye to eye. We managed to align our goals. We managed to get a communication style that worked. And now everything's great. But she doesn't go anywhere that I don't know about. I track her phone constantly. Like I know exactly where she is. And I have access to her phone, complete access to her phone, her WhatsApp, her Instagrams, her Facebook, her emails, like whatever. Like if I want to see what's going on, I just pick up the phone, I start looking through it. And if I ever have any issues, I'm like, who the hell is this? Then she'll be like, oh, it's so and so. Like, oh, I don't like them. Delete it. You know, like it's that easy. All right, what else we got? Cosmic. Cosmic's experiences in the house. That is Cosmic Greg Lee, a friend of mine here from the Philippines who's now in New York. We miss you, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the live. Just found me through you, actually. Oh, really? That's interesting. Uh, Trust is trust both ways. However, it definitely needs to be in our favor. I agree with that. That's a friend from Australia on the stream. S. Scamper. How you doing, man? Um, yeah, I mean, trust has to go both ways. Like, so for example, I let her see my phone. She can see my phone anytime she wants. She can see all the chicks I'm chatting with. She can see all the pictures I'm sending and getting. She can see my whole game. I don't care. I got nothing to hide. She knows what I'm doing. We have rules. We have 4 rules. I should make a live stream about the 4 rules. We won't talk about that today. Uh, oh, she found me on Instagram. I got it. Yeah. She found you on Instagram through my Instagram. That happens too. So Instagram can work both ways. Like you can meet girls on Instagram, but again, is she a sweet girl or is she a girl using Instagram like a dating app to find sugar daddies, online sugar daddies? Because that's becoming like a business in the Philippines now. It's fucking ridiculous. Never used to be that way. You can still build good relationships with Filipino partners. The rule that we're saying now is find a girl, a province girl, a sweet girl that's never been to Manila or probably even Cebu, and still lives with her family and has like 0 to no body count or no foreigner body count. That's it. Find a good girl like that and she'll be with you forever. But then we talk about other elements, the emotional maturity. We touched on that in the last live stream. All right, we've been going on an hour now. She's supposed to be back. I said I didn't want this live stream to go crazy like last one did. What else we got going on? White Dog. Haven't checked you out in a while. Girl on a dating site. You single now? Oh, hell no, bro. I'm not single. I don't think I'll ever be single again. We're probably going to do the spousal visa thing. But I'm still on dating apps for a lot of reasons. On some dating apps, I'm just on there for like social, like, hey, looking for hot model type chicks that want to go out and party and have fun and nightlife in VIP clubs with foreign guys that are in town for business, like, because I have a lot of guys that call me up or schedule tours or do whatever. And they're like, hey, bro, why don't you bring like 2 or 3 girls? It's a big table. So I need like a pool of girlfriends to be able to be like, honey, come on out to Xylo on Friday night and bring your hot friend and dress slutty. Dress nice. Dress sexy, I don't say slutty. But it's perfectly fine to tell the girl, hey, look, it's Xylo, dress classy but sexy. The other thing is you're going to find a girl that's going to be fine with you seeing other girls. Like my girl has 4 rules, maybe 5 now. I forget. But there's a lot of leeway in between those rules, one of which is she has no problem with me being on dating sites and or meeting girls or doing other things with girls as long as it sort of falls within the rules. Loco to Orage. It's embarrassing just to find out you've been hustled by a young innocent girl. Maybe a little. For me, I find it more disappointing. It's just absolutely disappointing to think that young girls are being trained to hustle so effectively, and they are, and they do. And I had a friend here that I met through a friend, very classy friends, well-to-do friends, and like one night she messages me and she's like hustling me, and I'm like, Nikki, like this sounds like a fucking scam, but it's so and so. Like, what do you think's going on? She's like, well, maybe she just got jammed, it's the flight or whatever, this, that, the other thing. She's like, trust your gut. turned out that this chick was trying to scam us. Like she was in a bad situation. I called her on it, and she's like, "All right, look, I'm just fucked. This is my situation. Can you help me out or not?" And I'm like, instinct says no. Instinct says no. Instinct says no. Like, when you know if it's you don't always know though. That's the thing. Guys get scammed, and guys get played, and guys fall for these sweet girls, and they get on these calls with these girls, and like, I'll be there in 2 weeks, honey. Wait for me. Here's $100. Make sure that you can come meet me at the airport. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. I mean, meanwhile, they're doing that with like 3 other guys. It just, I don't know. It's like literally become a business, and I primarily blame Instagram for it. Not so much Facebook, not so much WhatsApp, not so much chat apps. Freaking Instagram makes these girls think they're insta famous, super hot models that are way in demand, overloaded on dopamine clicks and 5,000 followers, and guys messaging them every day being like, "Baby, you're so hot. Let's get on a video call. Here's $20." Like ridiculous. I'm sure there are nice girls in Bohol. Probably getting worse though because of the development of Panglao. Panglao, which island? Oh, Bohol, right, Bohol. Yeah, as soon as those beaches become touristy beaches, the girls that live around there are eventually going to be less the innocent Filipinas and more the girls looking for their sugar daddies, or their part-time sugar daddies. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with rolling into the Philippines and picking up a girl for 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, like, and taking care of her and making sure she has a good time. And like when I was traveling here for work, like I had a girlfriend every time I came. And sometimes like I would have that girlfriend for every trip. And every trip I'd be like, I meet the same girl and we hang out together. I take her to dinner. I take her on my Boracay weekends. I pay for her taxis. She was my companion. She would stay in my condo. Like everything was great. And I was happy to pay for it and take care of her. And I thought that we were in a relationship at some point. And I guess we kind of were. Whether she was playing me on the side, I don't really know because at that point, I didn't even know that they did that. And 10 years ago, they didn't really do that. So there's nothing wrong with it. You just gotta think about vetting when you want to take the next step. Yeah, I'll tell her hi, man. Living Asia, Makati or Quezon City, differences other than nightlife. I want to stay in Manila for a few months before heading to the beaches. All right, so great question. So it depends on where in Quezon City. All right, so you've got two areas that I think are good. The best one being Eastwood City. Eastwood City Libis in Quezon City is like a very mini micro city BGC. It's a great little city to live in, dine in, chill in. Nice condo, nice pool, nice gym, nice malls, nice mall walks. Everything's walking distance. Everything's Wi-Fi enabled. Plenty of bars. Plenty of little shows. Like they do a pavilion thing in the center of Eastwood City. Weekend events. Eastwood City is great. I lived there for 4 years. I have an Eastwood City playlist on the channel. I was also 60 pounds overweight when I was making those videos, so you might see a little bit of a difference. The other area is SM North. I'll give you an example. Grass Residences. You can get Airbnbs in Grass Residences. It's got a walk, like an over street walk from Grace Residences to SM North Edsa Mall. And SM North Edsa Mall is freaking huge. Like you could spend a month just walking around it and trying different restaurants. And it's also right near the train if you want to bop down from SM North Edsa to Makati. Quick train ride. Not that the train is a wonderful experience at most times of the day, but sometimes you can get on it. It's empty. It takes you down to Makati. You get off. Boom. You're good. If it was up to me, I'd stay in Makati. Makati it's got so much more to offer, and it's so much more accessible, and it's not that far out. And whether you're staying in Poblacion, which is right near all the nightlife, restaurants, hole in the wall spots, or maybe a couple blocks down in Century City, which is still walking distance to all that, or the Ayala area, where you have your greenbelt malls, or like a village, like a Salcedo village, where you have higher end homes. Personally, I would stay in Makati. Like if you're in Quezon City and there's Quezon City and there's a massive rainstorm, depending on where you are, you're going to be trapped there. Not because your area flooded, but because all the areas around you flooded. Now you can't drive in or out. Um, Quezon's just out there, man. And you're going to find that you're going to be in an island. So your island is Eastwood City, or your island is SM North EDSA. Um, you venture outside of that island, and that's where that's when you got to keep your head on a swivel. And we talked about that in the last live stream too. Uh, it's hard to stop sugar. How did you change your mindset? Well, that's a great question, and this is the second time I've done this. The first time when I first came to the Philippines, I moved here almost 9 years ago. I was 60 pounds overweight, and I looked in the mirror and I hated what I saw. I absolutely hated what I saw. I had big round fat face. You can see that on my old videos. I had these like double, almost pushing a triple chin. Uh, I had was growing man boobs, which I hated. I fucking hated. And I had a gut. And more than that, I was getting like back fat. And I hated it. I hated it. And I said, I don't want to wake up another day of my life and look in the mirror and hate what I see. And I hated it so much that it motivated me to do something about it. And in addition to that, I was dating a Filipino at the time, and I was madly in love with her. And her daughter was adorable, and I wanted to adopt her and raise her as my own child. And I did for 3 years. And I knew I needed to be strong and healthy and fit to be an example for that child, and to be able to protect that child, and to be able to literally pick up the child, pick up the mom, and run because there's an earthquake and they're unconscious. Like, you can't do that when you're 60 pounds overweight. Like, I had serious motivating factors that, and this is the quote for that. You're going to suffer pain in your life, all right? You have a choice whether to suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I was at the point where, like, I don't want to regret anything else the rest of my life. I got less good years ahead of me than I got behind me. That's why I'm quitting this corporate bullshit life that's got me 60 pounds overweight on pharmaceutical drugs, eating, processed crap and breathing chemical skies. Like, no. And fluoridated water and every other poison that they pump into your American, matrix. No. Done with it. I want a better life. And I came to the Philippines, and I just was disciplined. I put myself on a schedule. I said, this is the way it's going to be. I measured my weight every day. I watched my caloric intake. And
Cold, baby.
hey, babe. And and a huge part of that was giving up sugar. And after maybe 10 days, like, you get past it. You lose. Oh, you're wet. It's still raining out. She's soaking wet. Ah, that's cute. All right, what else we got going on here?
Hello.
All right, she's back. She's wet, which is normal. But
how was your stream going?
It's good. It's just past an hour now. I'm thinking about wrapping it up soon.
Yeah.
Lots of American fast food type franchise out there. Which one do you want to see next? Chipotle, Jersey Mike's? Well, I don't want to see any, quite honestly, because I think fast food is horrendous and filled with chemical processed crap. And that being said, I think Chipotle is a good candidate. I think you can get dishes at Chipotle which may be less chemically processed than others. But if you think about it, like, essentially the food in America and the food in fast food chains has the ability to include as much as 1,000 ingredients that are banned in 80% of the other countries in the world. Chemical ingredients, poison ingredients.
Go.
Okay. You're going to cook now? All right.
So, by the time you're ready to go, I think I'm ready. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I'll give you the answer. I think it's called Five Guys. I think Five Guys Burgers was considered fast food, right? I mean, I know that they sourced their potatoes locally or would post where in the U.S. they got their potato shipments from. The problem with potatoes in America is that they're grown with so many insanely bad pesticides that the potatoes are practically poisoned by the time they get them off gas from the pesticides. And then you fry a potato, and I mean, it's just all kinds of bad for you. But the Five Guys burgers were amazing. Um, it seemed to me like they were using quality ingredients. There's only one fast food restaurant that I will even think about eating at here, and it's called Army Navy, and that's because they have chicken soft tacos on the menu. And the problem with the chicken soft tacos, I think, and I haven't investigated it, but those small little tortillas that they wrap the tacos in probably have like how many ingredients you think are in there? 20, 30? I mean, you really should need like three ingredients to make a tortilla. Maybe five, a little salt, pepper, flour, water, egg, maybe, I don't know. But it's probably got preservatives. It's got like who knows what's in there. Uh, I never heard of Jersey Mike's, even though I'm from Philadelphia. So my vote would be Five Guys Burgers. Although they got a lot of burger places now, and Wagyu burgers are getting big here, and I just posted some videos on that. So to get back to okay, Billy, man, it's hard to stop sugar. Yeah, it's hard. You're gonna suffer the pain of regret, or you're gonna suffer the pain of discipline. And trust me, you're gonna be better off suffering the pain of discipline, and you're gonna look better, and you're gonna feel better, and you're gonna live longer. Uh, Lots of American fast. She came in because she was soaking wet, turned off the air, even though it's really not that warm out today, because she was wet, and now the air's off. Hold on a minute, guys. Um, are there Airbnbs available in Rockwell? Sure, there are. How much more expensive is it compared to BGC or Makati? Well, Rockwell is Makati. Rockwell is like upscale Makati. Not that there isn't other upscale Makati, but a Rockwell and or BGC condo are going to be comparable. They're going to be as equally as expensive. Rockwell's like a very high end condo living lifestyle, very close to Poblacion, Century City, and Power Plant Mall, basically. It's like in between BGC, Rockwell, Makati, but it's kind of right next to Makati. Avid traveler, thanks for joining. Bye. Uh, are there clubs within that area? So there are no clubs in Rockwell, but 5 minute taxi ride to Poblacion, and there's Club Urban, Club Royal, Club Octopus, and then you got your Movida Fashion Food Lounge. You've got your Alibi Music Lounge. You've got the Loop Club. You've got Bolt Hole. Yeah, there's clubs in that area. I mean, arguably even long walking distance. I've walked from Rockwell, the Power Plant Mall, Rockwell to the Knightsbridge residences. It's not a quick walk. It's a trafficy walk. I mean, just getting a taxi for 5 minutes, you're good to go. Uh, Keto is amazing. You need willpower. It will make you feel better, and it will. Yeah, I mean, keto changed my life, basically. That's right. We met talking about keto because he walked into Canto. I walked into Canto. He's in there with some Filipino that he was, let's just say, working on. And he's like, dude, what are you eating? I ordered like 8 eggs. I had a plate of like 8 eggs and chicken sausage. And he's like, that's your breakfast? And I'm like, we just started talking. Only problem with Bacardi was finding a place with a pool or swimming laps. Yeah. City Garden Hotel was great, but the pool sucked. Yeah. Like if you want a lap pool, you're going to have to go to either Gramercy or Knightsbridge, Airbnb and Makati. if you want to swim laps. I mean, there's probably more, but yeah, those are the big pools. Like, I mean, Gramercy has a dedicated lap pool. Uh, Knightsbridge's pool is just so enormous that you can just swim laps in it. Or you got to go down to Parañaque. I used to live at the Paris Hilton Aqua Beach Club. Is that what they call it? No, Paris Hilton something Beach Club. And they have dedicated lap pools too. But you also had to have like a long-term rental to be able to qualify for the lap pool. Like that's the thing about Airbnbs, man. You got to ask a lot of questions. Can I use the amenities? Are there any restrictions? Are there any extra fees? There's always stuff you got to look into. Oh, and the internet. Is the internet limited? Do I only have 5 gigs of data? Like you got to ask questions that you wouldn't normally think to ask. Yeah, it takes about 10 days. Uh, it's pissing down here in Cambodia also. Yeah, yeah. It's raining. And it's been raining for 4 days, and this is the second typhoon sort of level rainstorm we've had in almost 4 weeks. And he's right. Like come October, September-ish to October, like September, your rainfall it goes from like 400 centimeters to 155 centimeters on average, and then in October it goes down to like under 40 centimeters. So we're moving into the great weather. What about Andox? Andox actually, I'm sure. Well, the nice thing about Andox is you can go in there and just get a roast chicken. So whether or not that chicken is filled with hormones, antibiotics, and steroids, and who knows what else. And believe it or not, they don't use a lot of that here, just mostly because it's expensive. Um, they don't have the same, you know, corporate capture FDA sort of working with your corporate capture pharma, working with your corporate capture insurance, like loop of big agra, big pharma, big health here. They don't have that. So a farmer doesn't get subsidized by the government to pump his livestock full of hormones, antibiotics, steroids, vaccines, and make them GMO and who the hell knows what else. It's all they can do to just buy feed to raise the thing. Um, so I would say Andox is probably decent. I mean, the most you're going to get rice and chicken in Andox, or side of banana plantain or something. I mean, I'm sure they serve spaghetti and chicken burgers and all crap, and I'm sure the bread that they get is all, I don't know, maybe it's locally sourced from a bakery. I mean, the stuff's cheap here. I really don't know, but I would say that a place like Andox, there's another one, I forget what it's called. We'll go in and get a roast chicken sometimes. Just take it home, cut it up, and eat it. It's cheap. It's like $4 for a whole roast chicken. Do I occasionally monitor blood glucose or ATC levels? What about ketone level? I don't measure anything, and I haven't in like 10 years. Basically, once I got off the pharmaceutical drugs, once I got off the sugar, and cut out the high glycemic index carbs, I've been good to go. Like I try to get about a gram of protein per pound of body weight a day. I stay in a calorie deficit. I have a very custom blend of uh, electrolyte water that I drink. I mix it up every day. Unless I'm out boozing, the only thing I drink at home, except for the occasional cup of coffee and the new ginger juice, is electrolyte water. And this ginger juice is out of control, man. Like we do liver detoxes. So I would do a shot of olive oil, a shot of lemon juice, and cayenne pepper. Boom. Or some days before I eat, I'll do the shot of organic apple cider vinegar, right? Helps to balance the blood sugar kind of thing. Now I'm on the ginger juice kick, where I just take like big roots of ginger, grind them up with a little water, squeeze 4, 5, 6 lemons in it, 10, 12 teaspoons of bee honey. And then when I'm ready to drink it, another little bit of cayenne pepper and burns all the way down. But like I'm charged up, man. That stuff cleans you out. Um, for the last 4 years, I had gone to the doctor once a year per work permit requirement. So when you want to work here, they do weird shit. They're like, you need an X-ray every year. You need a blood test every year. You need a urine sample every year. They even want a stool sample. It's like, what the really? Like, come on. Um, but yeah, I always get my results, and the doctors are always like, oh, everything's within normal. But the thing is like if you look at what they constitute normal nowadays, it's completely different than what it was 40 years ago. So like 40 years ago, you could have, let's just say, a cholesterol level of say 350, 300, 350. They said that's perfectly normal. Now they say if your cholesterol is above 2 or 250, they want to put you on statins. Again, the big eat the processed poison food, get on the pharmaceutical medicines, have your insurance company pay for it. That whole corporate capture, industrial, bureaucracy, the corporatocracy that the American government and monetary system has become. It's designed to keep you sick, because it's also designed to give you drugs to make you not feel sick, but they don't quite heal you because sick patients don't come back. And why would you go to the doctor if you're not sick? Food is your medicine. So I don't monitor jack squat, man. Like, I'm good as long as I can get up in the morning. Like, I'll go out, I'll booze for like 8 hours straight. I'll come home, I'll crash. I'll wake up, I'll be like, oh, let me get some water, let me get some ginger juice. And then I'll just drop and do like push ups like till I max out, Some days it's 40, 45, some days it's 50, 55, like as long as I can drop and do 55 after a night of drinking, I'm good. Um, the other chicken place is Ballywag. Yeah, and there's another one too. It's right down here. Chooks to go. You'll see that a lot in like Visayas. All right, it's going on 1 hour 31 minutes. Let's try to hit one more thing from the list. So the last live stream we talked about navigating visa requirements and extensions, finding reliable and affordable long-term accommodations from frustrations. From desires, we talked about exploring hidden gems and off the beaten path destinations. From fears, we talked about concerns about personal safety and crime rate. On this stream, we've talked about, from the frustrations list, dealing with language barriers, coping with cultural differences, and avoiding tourist scams and overpricing. From desires, we talked about vibrant nightlife in Makati and Cebu, and we haven't talked about experiencing the diverse culinary scene. All right, let's touch on that. Experiencing the diverse culinary scene. Of course, people are foodies, right? People want to travel to wonderful countries and explore the exotic street foods and the exotic dishes. And I mean, that's the best thing about Thailand, right? Like, you go to Thailand and it's like cheap, insanely healthy, insanely good, delicious food. Like, it blows my mind that I go to Thailand, I see foreigners sitting in a Burger King. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Bro, go down to the corner. There's this little spot. You can get like a chicken and cashew for $2.50 with a side of papaya salad for like 80 cents, you know, like, and knock it back with a Thai coffee. Like, some of the best food in the world comes out of Thailand, in my opinion. And then there's street food. So the rule with street food in Thailand would be you got to make sure that they cook it for you. So like if you go and like they'll have stalls. It's not they have their cook cart, but they also have like these little folding tables and chairs set up right on the street, and they'll sell you like cheap beer out of a cooler. And as long as the food that you're getting isn't like already cooked in a pot, like if they have to throw it in the wok, cook it while you're watching, then it's good. Uh, and the same thing in the Philippines. So the thing is the Filipino cuisine is not respected internationally. And quite honestly, I don't blame it for not being respected internationally. I don't care for Filipino cuisine that much. I've come to appreciate some elements of it. I think there's too much pork, there's too much rice, there's too much vinegar and weird stuff like bagaong or the shrimp paste. The shrimp paste, the vinegar, it's just a little too. It's a little too much for me, and I don't eat pork, so a lot of it's fried. I stay away from fried. They don't fry it in decent oils. They fry it in seed oils. They fry it in bad oils. Is it cheap? Street food here is cheap as hell. Like, I could eat in the barangay, 3 meals a day for $4 to $6. You know, so like every 10 days, I'm spending $40 and eating out. Like, so that's what 40, 80, $120 a month, 3 meals a day, eating out every day. Granted, it would be unhealthy food, and it would probably be a high level of bacteria. You got to understand that a lot of the street foods in the Philippines, they pre-cook it and they put it out. So it's good for a couple of hours, but then it's not really heated and it's not really chilled. So they have the food out in the warmers, but there's no heat on the warmers. So these foods are growing bacteria. If you've ever worked in restaurants or with a chef or any kind of culinary element, you'll understand that there's certain guidelines that food is required to be kept at in order for it to be safe, sanitary, edible. They don't manage that here, which blows my mind, and I can't imagine how Filipinos aren't walking around like with dysentery or like salmonella, or like who the hell knows what you get from eating bad bacterial foods. I'm surprised even me. Like when I first came here, I tried some street foods after a while, and I got sick as a dog once or twice, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. But then years later, like I can drink the water here now. Like I can eat anything off the street. Like I don't really do that, but it's not like I won't go get some street squid or, you know, something like that every now and again. Uh, but she eats street food all the time, and I'm amazed. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, I would never eat that, but they love it, and it's cheap. But you, Cosmic, you're one of those traveler guys that just like embraces the whole experience. Like you would eat like scorpions. I've had some good Thai in America, but yeah, it's nothing like Thailand. Jules, what's up, man? What do they fry in on the streets? It's probably palm oil. They sell a lot of palm oil in the Palenque, and like I had to learn to ask in Tagalog how to differentiate coconut oil from palm oil. The coconut oil obviously is more expensive. We only cook in coconut oil now. Occasionally, I'll cook with a little bit of olive oil, but it's hard to cook with olive oil because it has a low smoke point, and you don't want to cook with a burning oil. Then it creates a carcinogenic element. Avocado oil is just way out of the price range here, and also a low smoke point. So when it comes to oil, it's pretty much coconut oil. But quite honestly, I make tallow because I cook 2 kilos of beef every week. Some of that's for chili. Actually, most of it's for chili. I make my own chili every week. I make like 2 kilos of chili every week, and I save all the beef fat, and then I make tallow from that, and then I cook everything in that tallow. So everything that I eat is cooked in the beef fat that I render from my other meals, or butter. But the butter is expensive here, and I mean expensive for Manila. So I'm like, well, I'm buying the beef anyway. I might as well just save the fat. Um, and then I'll also like I'll flavor it a little bit. So while it's still liquid, I'll add some like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little coriander or something, cumin maybe. Uh, balut. Balut is the fetal duck egg, the classic street food of the Philippines. I've eaten balut once. I have a foreigner eating balut video up. It's not pretty. Um, is balut horrible? No, not really. It's actually a little tasty. It's savory, but there's something textural about it that I just can't get past. It's a little gross. Like you're sucking the liquid out of the egg, and then you're like chewing on it, and you're like, wait, is that beak or feathers, or is that a claw that I'm eating? Like, what the fuck? It's like it's an embryonic duck fetus. Like, I really don't want to eat that. But as far as taste goes, it's not bad. It's a texture thing. 14 grams of protein in one. I don't know about that. I mean, the eggs aren't that big, although they've developed, so it's unlikely. Your average egg is 6 grams of protein, so I would say maybe 8 to 10 grams of protein at most. But they also say that it drives high blood pressure. and not to drink them with alcohol. Macadamia nut oil is also good. High smoke point. Cool. Thanks, man. But uh, I'm curious. Can you find macadamia nut oil here? Probably, maybe at Marketplace. And does it cost like 2,400 pesos for like a bottle this big? That's the other thing. Like you can get stuff here. They've got that Whole Foods in SMR. You've got the Marketplace where you stay there in Makati, and there's one in Uptown. And but some of the stuff that like you buy a jar of organic almond butter here, and it's like $35. It's probably that in the States too, though. Tommy, nah, bro. There's plenty of awesome, good food here, man. Like, we get the fresh fish, we get the fresh chicken, we chop up the tomatoes, the onions, the cucumbers. Little olive oil, some apple cider vinegar, little spices. My girl makes the best coconut curries. Regular, like I go down to the market, I'll be like grind up this coconut, juice it for me, and make coconut milk curries. There's wonderful foods here, in addition to some of the not so great traditional Filipino dishes. Now, some of them are good. Like they make a lot of good noodle dishes here. I mean, I can't eat noodles, so I don't eat that stuff. But you don't need to live on peanut butter sandwiches here. Uh, Cosmic, the video of you guys doing what in Cebu? Oh, the whale shark. Uh, I'll check it out. Um, oh, the beak. Oh, you guys were eating balut. Yeah, nobody wants to eat beaks, bro. It's like, oh, why is that crunchy? Oh, that's the fucking duck beak. Is Batangas beef a passable substitute for expensive imported meat? Absolutely 100. It is a bit more gamey. It is a bit more gamey. It is completely, organic and or next to organic. They raise those animals in pastures, and those are grass fed animals for the most part. Um, the grass fed animals are a little stringier, are a little gamier. Uh, but if you get a good cut from one of those animals and you cook it properly, you tenderize it, uh, marinate it, and cook it properly, it can be good. Um, or if you're grinding it and you're putting in a good amount of spices, you can approximate. We try to get the beef locally. I have a guy down here in the Palenque that I talked to. He was like, "Come out to my farm. You can see how I raise the animals." Like that's the thing I like about shopping the Palenque. The other guy with the eggs too. He's like, "These are organic eggs." He's like, "I will take you to my place and show you how we harvest the eggs." Like they're very proud of it. And like an egg is 10 pesos here. That's like what 17 cents maybe? No, 10 pesos. 50 pesos is $1. 25 is 50. So yeah, it's like 7 cents an egg. Like I buy 12 eggs here for $1, pretty much. Yeah, there's a lot of good fish. Stevopolis, good morning. Plastic bag, put the food in, keeps it safe. Right. There's a lot of good fish here, man. The market's always got like a deep sea fish and stuff. The only ones I stay away from are farm fish. New store in Glorietta called Heyday. Mini Whole Foods, lots of bulk olive oil and bulk herds. Yeah, I'll check it out. Reeves just started a creatine cycle. Had massive gains last year in the previous cycle. Why do you call it a cycle? I'm curious because I am on creatine every day, all day, 365 days a year, and have been for 10 years. Like creatine to me is one of the few base supplements that I take. So I told you guys I make my own electrolyte water, right? So it's potassium, it's magnesium, it's sodium, it's zinc. Sometimes I throw in coenzyme Q10 and creatine. Like that's what I drink all the time. Actually, I don't really mix the creatine in. I do the creatine separately as a shot in the morning after the ginger juice, but it's creatine every day. And they used to say cycling creatine, right? Especially when you started it, right? You had to cycle up, but now the science is showing, 5 grams a day, every day, men and women. Uh, thanks, Beavis. Yeah, go ahead, everybody. Smash that like button. Join the channel as a member. Throw in a super chat. Uh, yeah, the fried food, it's got to be hard on the stomach. We try to avoid fried food at all costs. I mean, we'll sometimes we'll fry a fish in coconut oil, but it's not like it's fried and breaded, and it's not like it's deep fried. Cosmic, your message was retracted. You might have tried to put a link in. That's fine. Peely nut, yes, excellent for keto, and it's very expensive here in the U.S. It's plentiful there in a certain province, but it's probably still expensive. Yeah. That's the other thing. There are a lot of foods that I like that I could eat on keto that I don't because it's expensive. Like, man, I'm telling you, life here is pretty simple and it's on a budget. Like, I used to be more of a high roller. I used to be on like a US corporate, expense account. I used to have a lot of stuff going on that I gave up to live a simpler life here. A healthier life, a chiller life. Like, it's, I don't know, I think it's next week it'll go up. A week or two it'll go up. It takes me weeks to put up videos, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to send you guys a link real quick. I have been editing this video for 2 weeks, and every week YouTube flags it for advertiser suitability and censorship, right? Every fucking week they flag it and they tell me, oh, adult content. Oh, adult content. I'm like, you fucking bastards. Like, I'm going to send you the third edited draft, okay? So you can see what they're censoring. This hasn't gone public yet. I'm just going to put the link in the side box here. If you guys want to click on it, watch it later, right? You'll see what they're censoring, and you'll see the note that they send me that they're censoring, right? Like, it's all sort of, I'm putting it up there like, can you believe they censored it? Like, this is just a regular video. Of course, the uncensored stuff goes up for members only all the time, but so that's I'll make the video I want. I'll upload it. If they flag it, I'll look to see where they flagged it, and then I'll publish the flag version for members only. It's the unedited, uncensored video. Then I go back in and I censor the video, another whole set of work, a whole another set of exports and uploads, and then I re-upload the video and see if YouTube will pass it. And then I would say 6 or 7 times out of 10, they find something else in the video that is flagged for adult content or something ridiculous like policy. I don't even know. And then I have to go in, edit it again, re-upload it again, fucking tag everything, and then wait another week for them to see if they're going to pass the video for advertiser approval. And it's just goddamn ridiculous what they're doing. And you'll see if you watch this video that I just posted a link in the side box for. Did I have reservations about moving to the Philippines? Yes and no. Yes, I gave up a corporate, executive job. Cosmic, thank you, bro. And I was making big dollars, and I had, big house and nice motorcycles and nice cars and tools and a workshop and bikes and skis, off-road skis, downhill skis. I had off-road, like rollerblades, regular rollerblades. I had, I was teaching in a karate school that I loved. I had, an entire closet filled with shoes, clothes. I had, kickboxing shoes. I had kickboxing competition shoes. I had kickboxing training shoes. I had sparring shoes. I had, regular karate class shoes. I had kata shoes. I had everything. Like, I had so much stuff. And you can see all that on the channel if you look back at my Digital Nomad playlist. I talk about all my reservations going from being probably like entry level hoarder to becoming a minimalist. I gave up everything. I gave up everything to move to the Philippines, and I was a little nervous about it, but I was coming here to be with the girl I loved and to raise her daughter who I loved. And it was a beautiful child that kind of gave me the experience of being a dad. And I got to groom and shape and grow this child. And I saw in just 3 years, from the 5 to 8, like her vocabulary, her intelligence, her skill set. Like she learned so much from me in 3 years. And that 5 to 8, like I talked to her, gosh, maybe once a year if I'm lucky now, because the moms are a little crazy about me getting near her. At least one of the moms is. And the child like is speaking in 4 and 5 syllable words about astrological concepts, like, and it's all stuff that came from me in the books. And you know, uh do I look back? This is what I said again before, like, no, I got less. Do I regret it, or am I scared? Like, yeah, I was nervous, but the rewards far outweighed. Like, I knew Agenda 2030 was coming. I knew the lockdowns were coming. I knew all this, control scheme stuff was coming. I knew they were going to limit travel. I knew they were going to do the carbon footprint. It's all been on the books since 2007. They've been planning it. Look at the WEF, look at the books they wrote, the COVID-19, the Great Reset. This is all part of the plan. I knew I wanted to get out of America before I got trapped in America hell, which it is right now. Um, by the year 2030, you won't be able to fly internationally. You'll be limited to one domestic flight every 3 years. Like, it's on the UN website. This is not secret shit. I didn't want that life to be mine. I wanted to live the rest of the years I got, because I got fewer good ones ahead of me than I do behind me, in a way that I wanted to. And this is talking about the ultimate flex. I got away from that. My bro, I said in a video the other day, I don't care who you are or who tells you what. The ultimate flex in Manila is you got a private driver, you got a private van, and your driver's packing. Like, you go anywhere, do anything, and like your bodyguard and your ride, and like you never worry about shit. Like, you literally are in Disneyland on, booze. It's amazing. But I think the ultimate flex, personally, in my life is like, I can take a nap whenever the fuck I want. Like, I work a lot, and like, unless I have a call scheduled or a tour scheduled, I'm like, honey, I'm sleepy. Like, she's like, take a nap. I'm like, okay. Or like, nowadays, like, unless we're scheduled to work, and we don't work more than 4 to 6 hours a day most days. Some days I do, but I'm like, I don't care what time you wake up. I'm like, just be on time for work. Like, that's it. Uh, let's see, where was I? Do you have any reservations about moving to the Philippines? Yes, I did, but I had more reservations about living my life in America, fat and old and unhappy and alone, or with a woman that was like a grandma. Most of the women I was dating in the U.S. were older than me. I mean, not like they weren't classy and attractive, but come on, I'm not ready to date grandmas. Uh, watch one of your older videos. You seem pretty mellow compared to now. You think moving there changed me a lot, man. When I first came here, everything was like, oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, it's so charming. Oh, it's so cute. Look at these cute Filipinos. Look at this cute culture. Gusto ko ang matutang Tagalog. I wanted to learn deep Tagalog. Like, I threw myself into it. I would go to the 7-Eleven and be amused. Like, oh, look, they have soda. It's called Squiz. Ha ha ha, how cute. Like, everything was new and sweet, and every child on the street broke my heart. And I organized food drives. I organized clothing drives. Like, I was so into it, so different, so embracing of everything. But 10 years later, 12 years later now, no. I've been burned a couple times. I learned things the hard way. I seen some stuff that's pretty dark, and I can't talk about it. I will write a book about it. Uh, it did change me, man. Especially like, I'm out of the matrix. Like, I don't see the propaganda anymore. I don't get the fake news. I don't. I understand like the whole structure of United Nations Agenda 2030, what they used to call Agenda 21. Like, I see how it's literally all a matrix. If you listen to Tate, like a lot of my pre-programmed preconceptions of like being honorable or truthful or whatever. It's like that, man. Your government lies to you. Everybody lies to you. You lie to your boss. You're like, lies are a part of life. It isn't about learning to be honorable and not lying. It's learning how and when to tell the right lie. Like everything is a web of lies. It's insane. And health. Like my God, I got off the fluoride water. I got off the poison chemtrail air. I got off the pharmaceutical drugs they had me on. I got off the processed foods. I got off all that shit. I lost 60 pounds and I feel fantastic. I have no more pain. No more pain in my shoulders, my joints, my I have no gut. I have no man boobs. Like that makes a difference, you know? It makes a difference. Granted, I have a couple vices, but booze and some cigars, like a couple of vapes, like whatever. It's better than sugar. All right, that's what I'm leaving. I have everything here, but I'm being poisoned and ripped off in a dying country. Yeah. You have a great life there, man. You're literally homesteading there. I was checking out your garden the other day, Cosmic, and I'm like, I wish I had a land and a garden like that. And I do kind of here, but it's in Visayas and we're not ready to plant there yet. But that'll come in a couple years. This channel will switch from being like Manila nightlife and lifestyle to off-grid homesteading. Cosmic, maybe you should think about building a Bahay Kubo on the property when that time comes. Uh, Do you live in one of the so-called EMBO areas surrounding BGC? Oh, good question. And EMBO actually means something, and that is a good thing. EMBO Makati. So there's Rembo, there's Sembo, there's Pembo, and there's Comembo. And you can see all those areas on my channel in a series of video I published called the Maze Walker series or Maze Runner series. Because like you go back into Sembo and you're like, where the hell am I? I'm like, did I turn on the street? Did I come down the street? Did I just go in a circle? Like it is a maze back there. AMBO stands for Enlisted Men's Burial. So these areas, Sembo, Pembo, Comembo, and Rembo, are areas that all surround Bonifacio Global City and are part of Makati. And they were originally built for enlisted men, guys in the army, or the police to live in. So these were the communities. But now, 40, 50 years later, these communities are residential. Do I live in one of them? No, I live directly across from one of them. So Makati is the Embo side, and the other side is Taguig. Oh, Charles, man, thank you so much for joining the channel as a member, especially at my top tier level. That gives you a free consultation with me. Look at any of the links in my video descriptions. You can find my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, whatever. Hit me up. Let's talk. And of course, check out all the hundreds of videos on the channel that are for members only. There's some good stuff out there. Charles, thank you. What else we got here? Big ups. No, we've had a great life, man. I trained her how to use, the Mac OS, all the Google operating suite tools. I was running, BPO operations for Google here for years. That's what I did. Back end operations for Google, all the advertising marketing campaign, high end targeting for geo fencing, geo targeting, and demographic targeting. I still do consultation for that. Running Google ad campaigns and stuff, targeting that stuff. And that's what I've taught her to do. Taught her the whole Google suite of tools, taught her, Excel, all that stuff. She runs a portion of one of the businesses now. She's doing well. And she came from like nowhere. She was a province girl. She came from one of the most backwards islands in the Philippines. They call it the Hidden Island. They still don't have power there 24 hours a day. I scooped her up like literally the first year she was in Manila. She'd never met a foreigner. She'd been talking to two online. She was going to meet one, and her cousin ended up stealing her potential boyfriend. And then I came along, and I'm like, "You're gold. You're uncorrupted. You're amazing." and like never look back. Let's see, what was the breaking point for you? Uh, to move over. Okay, well, I did have it good there. I had a wonderful apartment. You can see that. I was living in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, right outside of Valley Forge after I sold the house. You know, I had everything that I could possibly want. No debt. I hated the cold weather. Just sucked. I was thinking about moving to Florida or Arizona. Um, what ended it for me was two things. One, I'd been traveling to the Philippines for 4 years. I made 16 trips to the Philippines over 4 years. Quarterly, I came here. I was here for a month, 4 months every year, a month every trip. I was in the air 160 hours a year. And I started to fall in love with the Philippines, and I fell in love with a girl here. Actually, two. uh, my dog died, man. My dog died, and I was devastated, and I was alone, and I just felt empty. I'd been caring for the dog for the last year of her life. She'd had a tripod amputation, and uh, and our relationship, I know it sounds weird, with a dog, became closer. The dog became empathetic, and our communication, and just my life became about caring for her. And when she was gone, I had nothing, and I was dying, and I was hating myself for being fat and fucked. And I just said, I don't want to live the rest of my life like this. I know if I go to the Philippines and raise that little girl as my daughter, it'll help heal this hole in my heart. And that was the breaking point for me. I do not live in an EMBO. I live right across from the EMBO, which is right next to BGC. Like literally, a street separates. Uh, on this side, it's Pembo. A street separates Pembo from where SMR is, and on the Uptown BGC side, one street separates Uptown BGC and Uptown Parade from Pembo. That one's Sembo. This one's Pembo. And then there's Rambo and but that's a great place to live here if you want to live near BGC and near Makati and you don't want to pay BGC prices. Like we have a 3 bedroom house here, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, full roof deck, gated parking, full porch and sun porch. I pay less than I did in my condo in BGC. Uh, what happened to your relationship with the daughter's mom? We broke up and she moved on with her girlfriend. So the relationship was good. I mean, it was a little troubled. She'd had a difficult upbringing and was and had some emotional maturity struggles. Uh, she got close with her girlfriend, and we became an extended family. I lived with her and her girlfriend for a long time together. We were a family raising the daughter. You can see all that on my channel. Actually, I think there's a video I just recently reposted called "Crazy Fun Filipinos." But eventually, I became the third wheel. I'm the stoic foreigner. I'm the guy, pushing the budget. I'm the guy kicking the asses. I'm the guy saying, "I paid for your business, make it work." You know, and I just said, if you want something, then you need to set the goal. You need to set the budget. You need to make the plan. I'm not just going to go out and buy it for you. And like, I guess the girl was just like, well, if you're unhappy, just come with me and we'll leave them. And so they took off together, and now they're a couple raising their daughter. Uh, but I did start her business, and I bought her the tools she needed to get running, and now she has a wonderful, successful business that she loves, and it's part of her hobby. And she's an incredible craftsman, a seamstress. Like, she's great. I'm so happy that I was able to contribute to their lives, and they to mine. Like she was the one that kept me going when I was despairing and wanted to just end it all. Like, I had this hole in my heart, man, when that dog died, and if it wasn't for Nomi and her daughter Sarah Jane, like I don't think I could have pulled through. Dude, I would love to elaborate on the UN thing, but it's against the narrative, bro. I got flagged for that on this channel for talking about it, and on my to this day my channel is still throttled. Like I still am throttled from with subscribers, from views, from all this shit, and I can't really talk about it on YouTube. But look up United Nations Agenda 2030. Don't look up the propaganda about it and look and say, oh, it's for sustainability. Well, understand what sustainability means, right? Geofencing, right? 15-minute cities, carbon footprint, carbon tracking, digital ID, central digital bank currency. You'll be living in China, right? Where everything is tracked and controlled and monitored. And if your social credit score isn't this good, then you can't live in BGC. And if you jaywalk and a camera catches you, you get fined, but you don't get a ticket. It just immediately subtracts the money out of your central digital bank currency. It's like, it's insane, man. It's dystopian. It's totalitarian. It's complete digital prison. It's a digital prison and digital geofencing. Read COVID-19, The Great Reset by the WEF freaking Nazi president Klaus Schwab, and you will see how insane it is. They want you replaced by AI and robotics, sitting on your couch where they prescribe drugs for you so you can sit in your virtual reality glasses all day long. That's literally their plan for most of humanity. Give them drugs, give them virtual reality, and let them just turn into slugs at home. It's horrendous. And we're not even talking about the depopulation agenda. And that's all in the book. They tell you what they're doing. It's not a secret. And it's happening. Just look what's happening with America. The Cloward Piven strategy. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. Why do you think all these illegal immigrants are flowing into UK and in America? You think that's by accident? You think it's just because they're incompetent and stupid and don't have laws? No. Flood the countries with immigrants, destabilize the nuclear family, feminize men. Or listen to Tate, man. He talks about all that. Yeah, homesteading, man. It's the only way to go. That's how we set it up. Bro, you watch the Maze Runners videos. Yeah, I wish they were more popular too, because I enjoy making videos like that. Smoke prices and access to smoke in city areas. Is it a do as you want, like in Thailand or Cambodia, or more governed? Cigarettes. Most restaurants and clubs are non-smoking. There are plenty of bars that are smoking, and there are areas like BGC, for example. Like if you're white and you're out on the street and you're smoking, and a cop sees you, they will fine you and say, "Sorry, this is a non-smoking area." Uh, is it super? Oh God, enforced? Not really. Is it enforced? Yes. I don't know. We only smoke cigars and or vapes. You can smoke a vape anywhere, just about, except in a restaurant. But we still do. You can smoke cigars in fewer and fewer bars now, but there are still bars. Well, yeah, especially like any casino will have bars you can smoke in. Some nightclubs allow smoking. Some bars allow smoking. Some don't. Like that's why I like a lot of times we'll go to Lips, not only because it's chill, it's cheap. I know the people there. We get to play pool there for as long as we want, and we can smoke if we want. Like, just go to cheap, chill spots. Yeah, Greg, you get it, man. When she died, I was just like, I was done. Like, there's nothing keeping me here. Any suggestions for nice hotel, Makati Poblacion? Yeah, hell yeah. Charles, you just joined the channel as a top tier member, bro. Like, let's get in touch. I'll give you a free consultation. I'll tell you all about that. But I have right off the top of my head the IM Hotel, the City Garden Grand Hotel, the Coro Hotel. Those are all great, nice hotels right in Poblacion. City Garden Grand, yeah, City Garden Grand, Coro, IM Hotel, and you can see all those on my channel too. Yeah, the flag, I know. Uh, what do I miss about the States? Yeah. So what is it? And when you first moved to the Philippines, did you think, what did I do? That's a good question. So the thing I miss from the States is my motorcycle and decent roads to ride them on. So I was lucky enough to live in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, or I don't know if it's luck or fortune or whether I made it. I worked goddamn hard to be able to get that the way I wanted it to be. Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, and Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and the roads there are incredible. Like I just used to bike through Valley Forge Park, like windy, twisty roads around like cliffs, and then like it was a park, so like they didn't destroy it. And it's a huge park. And some of the highways out there, and just like I just miss being able to get out on the road on my bike and have a beautiful drive through the forest, um, and or like open it up on the highway. Like biking here is not it's not fun. Even in the province, it's not fun. Like you got to watch out. Like the chickens in the road, dog in the road, horse in the road. Who the hell knows what's in the road? Uh, when I first got here, no man, I was loving it, bro. I'd been working in corporate for 20 years straight. I retired. I was done. I was loving it. I was going to Boracay. I was on the beach. I was living in Puerto Galera. I had a beautiful young girlfriend. I was raising a daughter. I worked on what I wanted to work on when I wanted to work on it. I was in the gym. I was swimming. I was losing weight. Life was great. I didn't regret it at all. And at first, though, I did kind of miss my Xbox because, goddamn, building societies in Fallout was amazing. Fallout 4, I don't remember what Fallout it was. I love Fallout. It was so much fun. Uh, Hector lived longer in the Phils than you, who were born here. Do you have a few Philams who hung out with you after being in the country for so long? Yes. My best friend here is a Philam, although you can't tell. He's all straight up San Fran all the way. But he's also a huge businessman here that knows stuff about the Philippines that blows my mind, literally every week, and I've known him for years. Um, One or two others over the years, but most of them live in the states and come here to visit. So I don't really have many like hardcore Philam friends here, but my top guy is definitely a Philam, and his brother. Which casino would you recommend? Well, I don't know jack about casinos except for Solaire. And the one thing that I like about Solaire is that they have the best buffet in Manila, and I have a video up on my channel about that. Unlimited lobster buffets, out of control, and they have a couple of cigar bars there. And the casino is really nice. I think they like pump like oxygen into the air there or something. Because like when you walk in, it's just like like the air is so clean and the temperature is so perfect. There's no like, it's cold over here because the air is blowing on me. Like this gigantic casino is just like perfect temperature. All the chairs are super comfortable. All the lounges are fantastic. You know, it's a great casino. We go there. There's one or two little bars there that we go to hit to do cigars. We do the happy hour, and they're open happy hours, and they're so it's like 3 hours, mix and match happy hour. All you can drink whatever you want to drink, one drink at a time for 3 hours straight. And like after 3 hours of pounding, unlimited booze and cigars in this bar, we're tanked. It's always a great kickoff. Um, I like Solaire. It's the only one I've ever been to. Grand is nice. I think you're trying to say rooftop bar there. That's the City Garden Grand. Yeah, they got a decent rooftop bar there. The best rooftop bars across the street. That's the IM Hotel. Just join the top tier one. We'll message you, Charles. Yeah, message me, man, and I'll give you the lowdown. Free consultation. Thanks for all the info. It's a good thing you're doing. Have a great week ahead. Yeah, I will. God, what day is it? It's a Wednesday? Yeah, it's a Wednesday already. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. It's been, God, another 2 hours. I told her I'd be on the stream for an hour, and now it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. We covered more from the list today. Let's see what's up next for the next Frustrations, Desires, and Fears episode of my weekly new live stream. Maintaining internet connectivity and speed under frustrations, and there's some points that are valid to talk about there. Uh, Engaging in local festivals and cultural events for desires. Again, there's a lot of that uh, and things to consider. And from fears, struggling with loneliness and isolation. Now, that's a fantastic topic and a very important one. And one of the reasons why I always try to check in with my bros here, because I do have a number of friends here. Some of them were channel members that decided to move here. And, we did consultations and we met up, and we did tours, and then we ended up being friends. We live kind of all over the place, but we're still in the city. So, like when I go out, like I might have plans or I might be on a tour or something, but like I'll still check in with like as many as 3, 4, 5 guys. I'm like, hey, bro, we're going to be out tonight. We're going to be in Makati. We're kicking off here. We got a VIP there. Like, if you're out, you're around, stop by, say hi, whatever. And then other nights, like I'll be just like, oh, it's Wednesday night. She wants to go play pool. Bro, we're gonna be at Lips shooting stick. Like stop by if you want. And some of those nights are the best nights. Like I'm not saying I don't have a freaking blast with channel members and nightlife tours, and I mean we have insane nights. We are not normal. But some of the best nights are just like local nights in the dive bar, shooting pool with a couple of guys, a couple of expats, basically, guys that live here. Like Digital Nomad Trader, who's on the stream today. So, guys, thanks so much for joining the stream today. Thank you for the supers. Thank you for joining the channel as a member. Check out, there's a link that I posted. Let me post it again. This freaking video, I am waiting for YouTube to approve. I've had to edit it 3 freaking times and upload it twice, I guess. First time, second time, 3 times. I've had to wait weeks for them to approve the edits every time, and they keep flagging it for something else. It's almost like they're just looking and nitpicking at it for something to flag because they didn't like it or they didn't like. Fucking ridiculous. But check out this super high edited video and how ridiculous it is, and see what I'm dealing with when it comes to making freaking videos in the Philippines with YouTube and their censorship. So that's why I'm leaning towards making videos for members only. Like I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe I should just make videos for members, the videos that I want. Don't worry about advertising, and just upload teasers to YouTube of like, hey, look, this is kind of what's going on in the Philippines. You want the real story? Join the channel as a member. Check out the whole video, because the rest of it's like too much work. It's like editing 4 videos to upload 1 video, and it takes 3 weeks to get it up. Any advice for someone new looking to move to the Philippines? Yeah, I have a ton of advice, man. Like check out my digital nomad playlist on the channel. Check out renting a condo in BGC on the channel. Check out channel membership and schedule a consultation with me. Like I got more advice than you could possibly imagine. But if I just give you off the top of my head advice, I give that in a video I recently published called The Foreigner Bubble. And that advice is very simple. Take a month or 2 or 3, find a nice Airbnb or 2, and move here for 1, 2, 3 months. Spend 4 weeks in BGC in a nice condo. Spend another 4 weeks in Poblacion Makati in a condo. And spend another 4 weeks, I don't know, checking spots out like Subic Bay or Boracay or Siargao. Go to Boracay for a week or a long weekend. Go to Siargao for a week, Go to Bohol beaches. Uh, Check out Subic or Angeles for a couple of days. Uh, give yourself weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. You know, live in a condo for 2 weeks in BGC, see how you like it. Live in a condo for 2 weeks in Makati, see how you like it. Uh, Travel to 3 different spots: Angeles, Subic, um, Boracay, and say Siargao. See how you like it. Don't rush it. And that's my advice. God, the vertical format, man, I struggle with it. I post shorts. I hate them, in the sense that I just don't. I don't know. I don't think they just seem like a maybe I just don't have the gift for it. I don't have the touch for it. I don't have the feel or the vision for it. I make features. I made documentaries. Like that was my thing. I find that the shorts are a little clickbaity. They're a little campy. Like you got to get on there and be like, I left America and moved to the Philippines. Here's why. And it's just like, no, no. I just no. I'm not a cheerleader. I just walk around with a camera and I like making videos. I've even tried like AI. I'm like, here, take this long video, chop it up into little videos, and I'll post those. The best way to do it is to use the 360 camera. I think the 360 does cool stuff for shorts, vertical shorts. It's probably shown to more eyeballs, but not on my channel. But then again, my channel's been throttled, so I speak out against the narrative and I get shot down for it. So I'm trying to keep my mouth shut about that and just talk about why I like living in the Philippines. Maybe do streaming. Yeah, streaming is the way to go, man. Uh, that's why I'm streaming every week now. I'm thinking about trying to keep it to 1 hour streams twice a week, but so far it's been 2.5 hour streams every week. The things you regret not doing before you move to the Phils. Yeah, I regret not buying Apple stock when it first came on the market. Like, no, not really. I mean, maybe I regret not buying Bitcoin the first day it came out. Like, there's always regrets, but not like, oh my God, I wish I had, before I left for the Philippines. Nothing like that. What about meeting a Philippine at the airport? Good or bad idea? If she wants to come meet you at the airport, why the hell not? It's great. She'll make sure you get in a decent taxi. She'll make sure you don't get ripped off. She'll probably go right back to your hotel with you, which may or may not be a good thing, depending on how long you've been chatting with her and whether you have a relationship in line or if it's just a money arrangement. Like, it's all good. She's going to meet you at the airport. Why the hell not, man? I don't. I've never done that because most of the trips I came here on were corporate and I just had a limo pick me up because fucking company was paying for it. And then after 16 trips to the Philippines over 4 years, I'm like, I got this down, I'm like, it's all right, honey. Just, meet me at the condo tomorrow, like kind of thing. Uh, what about meeting a Filipino at the airport? I mean, if you meet her at the airport, like she's hanging out at the airport waiting to meet a guy for the first time, I think that's weird. If you've been chatting with her online and you guys are thinking about dating and going to dinner and having a relationship, or you already have an online relationship, which is Filipinos consider to be real, yeah, definitely meet her at the airport. Hard to be loyal, date one Pina? Is there too much temptation to date more? Fantastic question. I've talked about that for years on and off the channel. If you're single, you're going to date more. Like there were days I would have 3 dates a day. Like literally, I would line up breakfast, lunch, and dinner dates. And those days I would classify in terms of baseball: single header, double header, triple header, right? And I don't know if I've ever had a grand slam, but like as a single guy, and again, it's years ago, things have changed, but I would seal the deal with all of them. Like it's like breakfast and back to condo, and then it's like, look, honey, I got a lunch appointment. I'll see you later. And then you go and you meet the lunch girl, and then it's back to the condo. And then after lunch, you guys take a nap, and you wake up and you say do it again. And then like, honey, I got to work tonight. And then she goes home, and then you go out and you meet another girl for dinner, and then she ends up spending the night. Like, it's insane. Like, you don't have to be loyal if you want to play the field. But the difference is the quality girls in Manila are getting slimmer and slimmer pickings because the Gen Z girls in Manila are now getting on the Instagram gravy train, and like they think, oh yeah, I'm happy to go with you if you're paying. Like, that's the thing now. It's just like, oh, I've got 5,000 followers, and guys from, Monaco are hitting me up and telling me they're going to fly me out to their yacht for a month. So if I go with you, you need to fucking pay me or pay for everything all the time or like whatever. And it's just like, it never used to be like that. I'm like literally, like, let's go get lunch at the mall. You want to see a movie, or you want to go back to my pad, or what do you want to do? They're like, oh, let's just go back, like, and you'd hang out with them. But you would date them every week. Like, every week I would date these girls. So it's what we call a rotation here. Like, you literally have girls that you date in a rotation. And the most that you end up paying for is breakfast, lunch, or dinner, a movie, or a night out. Like, they're not money girls, they're not hookers, they have jobs. That's why you can put them in a rotation, because they're busy too. And then you got girls like my girl who has four rules. So, speak of the devil, I know I'm still on the stream.
It's okay. I'm still cooking. So.
All right. I'm not talking about the rules today, though.
Coconut milk with yellow fin too.
All right.
You want to try that?
Yeah. So we were talking about food earlier. So she is making yellowfin tuna that she just bought in the market with coconut milk, fresh coconut milk. She also had prepared in the market, right?
Huh?
Get the coconut milk at the palenque?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all organic, all whole foods, all straight up cooking. No MSG, no food dyes, none of that stuff. Wait, talk about it. Make sure I got distracted there. So, uh, is there too much temptation to date more? So, when you date a Filipino that's super fine,
Baby, I don't have bra.
I know, so that's my point. And you have vetted her, and you guys have like the relationship and the agreement. Is there temptation? Yeah, there's temptation. I've flirted with girls in the bar and pissed her off in the past, and now we've come to the point where we have sort of like rules of engagement. So as long as I follow the rules, I have a little leeway, and I kind of get to blow off steam, if you know what I mean. And some girls are going to be chill with you like that, and some girls are not. It just depends. And then some girls are just straight up bi. They're just like, let's go out and find a girl. Like, I got two or three good guy friends here, and the girls are straight up bi. And like, when they go out on the weekends, they are looking for women. Like, that's their game. But if you're with a girl that doesn't play like that, then you're better off saying, look, I want to play the field, and if you're not into it, let's break up. Like, don't sneak around. You're just gonna get busted, or you're gonna break her heart. It's only hard to be loyal at first. Like, after a couple of years here, or like, unless you find like the ultimate goddess when you first come in. Like, no, even then, it's hard to be loyal because there's just so much. Well, at least there was, and there is still now. It's just the difference is before it was free and easy and cool, and now everyone's like, pay me, pay me, pay me, and it's just like, it's such a turnoff that you're like, yeah. There's a lot of temptation, especially at first, because you've never had that kind of attention before in your life in America. At least if you're anything like me, and I didn't have a problem back home. I just never had that level of interest and attention and opportunity. But eventually, you grow out of it. 360 hasn't taken off for some reason. Yeah, not on my channel. Thank you. I'm glad you like the live streams. Check out Billy Blue. He's kind of a nut, but he pulls in good cash from streaming. All right. For 5+ hours at a time. Yeah, I mean, streaming can work, man. Like, we some streams we pick up, uh what do they call that? They call that I don't know, people kind of like make donations on the stream, which is very appreciated and helpful. Call them super chats. Uh, Make sure you have an out if you're meeting a woman. Meeting in person is a way different than online. If she's annoying, need to be able to ball. Yeah, so bail. We talked about it on the last stream. Uh, the the proper way to meet a Filipina, and the simple, the short and simple explanation is it's a coffee date. Like, look, let's have a coffee date. Boom. I'll pay for it. It's simple. It's easy. It only lasts an hour. And sorry, I got somewhere to be. I'll message you later. That's it. Coffee date.
And if you like her,
And right,
and
and
if
if
you
you
guys
like her and you
connect,
hit it off,
yeah.
hey, you know what? Let's go get lunch, or hey, let's go get dinner, right? And if it's still going good,
You should have like a time out frame before you guys meet. Like, okay, I have 1 hour. I have 1 hour.
right? Just
For
be like,
this week,
just let her know, like, hey, look,
One hour too.
I got like 2 hours free. Why don't we meet for coffee at this time? All right, great. We meet for coffee. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I'll message you later. Or hey, you know what? My 4 o'clock canceled. You want to go get dinner? Get an early dinner?
Yeah.
Great. I'm free the rest of the night. Like, want to have a couple drinks? Like you can just play it as you go. But coffee date is a short, sweet answer. There in '99, the scene was different. No, dude,
It
in
was 99.
1999. In 1999, it was a different world. In 1999, you wrote your own ticket. Like even in 2012, it was like that. It was insane. It's still insane. My God,
I wasn't even born.
I know it's crazy.
1999.
Instead of neighborhood gentrification, it has become Pinay-hood gentrification. That's an interesting point of view. Locals are being priced out of available Pinays. Well, like locals may be being priced out of super hot available Pinays. I mean, there's plenty of Pinays here that are average, and probably wonderful women and make wonderful girlfriends and partners. I always say like a Filipina 5 is like an American 7. So like personally, why should I settle for a Filipina 5 when I get like a Filipina 8? That's like an American 10 to me. Uh, but it's all the same. 4 rules. Yeah, I can't talk about that today. Next time maybe.
Third,
Uh,
episode 3. Is that there?
no,
Yeah.
this is the list. The
Are you
frustrations, the
finished with
desires,
that?
the fears. Now we got through most of it though.
It's like
Sounds like it's
instead.
becoming more like Thailand. Well, yes and no.
Some in
Yes,
some
in some
way,
ways.
yeah.
Like in Thailand, literally it is all pay to play 100% across the board. No matter where you go. Here, you can still find unspoiled, uncorrupted, non money girls. Like there are tons of sweet, cute, petite, wonderful Filipinas that just want a loyal, loving foreign husband. Like no doubt. But in Thailand, it's all just like pay to play, no matter where you go. Manila is getting more like that, I find. Even though, like, I still find girls here, sweet girls. Like, there are girls I meet a lot here, and I'm like, girl, if I was single and I wanted a partner, like, you would be right on my list. Like, I would scoop you up in a second. But I don't play them. Like, I'll just be like, no, sorry. Like, we're only meeting because, I shoot lifestyle videos and nightlife videos, and I'm taking guys out, and I need to invite like 3 girls because the table's empty. And I need 3 hot girls at the table. So get your ass to the club. And sometimes they get super drunk and they want to party with me or her or one of the guys I brought. Like it's all good, but they know the deal right from the beginning. The expat needs to make the first move. Is it because girl is shy? Do girls approach expats in malls? Hmm. Girls don't really approach expats in malls. I met her in a mall and I approached her in the mall, for example. And it was very simple. Like we were in a bookstore and I'm just like, hey, oh yeah, we're both buying school supplies. Like, are you in school? And she's like, no, it's for my niece and nephew. I'm like, oh, mine is for a donation for some school, for work. And I'm like, I'm Eric. Nice to meet you. I was actually going to go over to Starbucks and get a coffee. Do you want to come with me? Like, I'd be happy to get you a cup of coffee. I'd like to get to know you. And she was like, yeah, okay, sure. And like, literally, we never looked back. Now, granted, I don't go to Starbucks anymore, but there's reasons for that. Yeah, the super chats. We get super chats on the live stream, and that's very helpful. Uh, what's your view on max of age dating difference? I'm at this point, I might be twice her age. Let me see. No, I'm older than twice her age, and she just turned 25. Uh, when I met her, I thought she was 25. Turns out she was 20. But that's the other thing. They're gonna misrepresent their age on their dating profile. I'm pretty sure she said her dating profile said she was 25 when I met her. Or she told me she was 25 or whatever. I don't remember the details. I thought she was 25. It wasn't until her 21st birthday that I figured it out. But it's all good. So 20, 25 years difference, it can work. Any more than that, actually, I have a friend that's probably pushing more than that now. And there's a lot of things he's super happy about, and there's a lot of things he's not. The brain doesn't really stop growing until 25. Like they're still not running with a full deck until they're about 25.
Rain again.
In the West, 25
Goodness.
years is too high.
What's up, bro?
It's way too high
Steven.
because it's a completely different mindset. Like you're bringing something to the table that she admires, appreciates, learns from, and is grateful for, and she brings something to the table that you in turn admire, appreciate, and are grateful for. In the West, that dynamic doesn't exist as much because the culture is too similar. Here, the culture is dissimilar enough for there to be not only a level of acceptance about it, but here's the other thing: like, is it a 25-year age difference where like she's 18 and you're what's 18 plus 25 is what 45? You're 45, 50, and have diabetes, are 60 pounds overweight, are a complete mess. You have maybe a physical disability. Maybe you walk with a cane or in a wheelchair. Like, does it look like there's a huge disparity? Is there a really good relationship where you care for her and she cares for you, or are you just like paying for younger arm candy? Like, that's the thing. Like, I see guys walking down the street, and I don't judge people, but these guys are freaking disasters, man. They're like 100 pounds overweight, like skin sallow, like barely walking, old. You know,
But yet they have 18 years
yet
old.
they have like the hottest, skinniest little 18-year-old like all over them. Like, and it's like it just doesn't look right. It looks weird. I get it. It's not a perfect mix. Like, at least we're compatible is in as far as like physicality and looks and interests and abilities. Like, it all depends. Like, here, anything goes. Age is not an issue here, unless it comes to maturity. There's emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. We talked about that in the last live stream. God, I'm going on 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm 54. How young is too young for you? Well, 54. You're younger than me, actually. I would say you should date in the 25 to 35 range. Now, the thing about dating a Filipina that's 30 or older, there you've got three major factors in there. One, has she hit the wall? Because Filipinas sometimes just hit the wall at 30. Like, and there's a lot of ways they do that: through diet, through exercise, through lifestyle. Like, they look fantastic, and then 30 years old, and like, what the fuck? And then the other thing is career or kids. Like, is this a 30-year-old career woman? She's working 40 to 60 hours a week. She has no time for you. And then the last thing is kids. How many kids does she have? And is the
Or
father in the picture? Is she raising the kids? Does she need a daddy for the father? Like, a lot of 30-year-old Filipinas have kids.
Or if could they produce any kids? Some 30 years old in the Philippines, they have trouble.
Yeah, like that's the other thing. I
Once
think it's
you're 30 to 35, they're having trouble.
some older Filipinos are middle. They're not even old.
Most of
They're
my aunts,
barely mature at that point. I mean, they're in their maturity, not mature in the sense of middle age mature, but they're matured adults. 30 to 30, like over 30, some Filipinos have trouble conceiving, and that probably has a lot again to do with their diet or their immune systems.
or genes, genetic.
Yeah, but other times, like her, like I'm just like all like if I pop a boner around her, like I'm thinking she's pregnant. Like she could like drop of a hat, it's like boner. It's like, oh shit, is your period late? Like these girls, man, you got to watch out for some of them. Uh, Steven,
Hi,
awesome
Eric.
vids. Thanks, man. Do these guys have hot chicks? What guys?
Yes, no, that you already answered it.
Oh, oh yeah, the
Yeah,
guys that are,
the
and
guys.
some
Yeah,
of them
yeah.
not. Some of them they have like 40-year-old like average.
No, some of
Filipino
them like
girlfriends.
are picky as well. Like they're
Yeah,
having trouble looking for their match.
but you do see a lot of
Yeah.
older gentlemen that may or may not be in the best of shape or condition with average to middle-aged Filipinas. Like I see guys with 35, 40-year-old Filipinas, and they're married and they seem to be doing good. And it's not like the girl looks bad. It's just it doesn't look fantastic.
For him.
But then you see I'm seeing now a lot is younger guys with not so hot Filipinas. Now the thing is these Filipinas are probably career women that are successful, or their family comes from money, or they're fantastic. They've got their car, they've got their condo, they're driving around, and they want a foreign husband. They probably have a 10-year visa to get into the U.S. Like, there's another level of Filipina that has a certain amount of privilege that offers a whole nother level of dating and marriage and lifestyle possibilities to a foreigner. And some of these guys are like, well, I'll take a Filipina 4 or 5 because she's because of her connections, let's just say, and his lifestyle possibility. When do you plan on having kids? It's the main reason for being with a Filipino. We do not have a plan yet. But we have an idea.
Retire when
When we retire.
when we retire.
We bought her family's property. It's a coconut farm. Eventually, we'll go off grid and homestead, and
We live in the farm. We
we'll
gonna
live on the
live in
farm.
the coconut
We'll be
farm.
growing coconuts, raising
And veggies.
chickens, and building greenhouses and stuff. And
Pigs.
I
Horse.
don't know about that, but
Pigs.
that's kind of how they do it here. And I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple years when we go for that, I wouldn't mind having a rugrat or two around to help me with go carry that lumber.
Ron Jeremy.
Made it work. You can be a hedgehog and still have a hot chick. Well, yeah. Ron Jeremy went downhill fast. I mean, I think when he was one of those outlier guys. If you haven't read the book Outlier, like, he was in the right place at the right time with the right equipment, if you know what I mean. And like, it was the 70s. He wasn't completely degenerated at that time, and he made a name for himself in a small industry. Like, that's the outlier thing.
And then they have turned into Yoda.
But then he went. I mean, then God, I mean, he was older. He didn't take care of himself. Now he's a mess, but he's still a fucking legend. So that's the crucible. Read that book, Outliers. What's that?
Is it remember some
hiding
marriage?
Can't get divorced in the PH. Yeah, you can't get divorced in the PH, but you can get married.
You can get annulment, which take if you want to do rush, if you have money.
Annulment's a nightmare road.
Rush
I wouldn't want to deal with, but you can pay for an annulment here. It takes years.
Yeah, even for the rush, it takes 1 to 2 years.
But there's still going to be there. You can still get screwed in your annulment. There's conditions that have to be met.
In your experience,
some guy, what? I know a guy here. He's a friend of mine. He's well-to-do. We were talking about like our marriage, and then like his marriage. He's married to a Filipina, and he's like, oh yeah, dude, just do this, do that. He's like, fuck. He's like, I'm married. He's like, I had a wife back home, and I'm fucking married here. He's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, you can make it work. I'm like, interesting. Majority of cute Pinay ending up with Chinese and Korean dudes. Believe it or not, well, yeah. I mean, well, that's changed too recently. There is a complete genre of Filipinas that get sucked into the whole world of casino and online gambling, the pogo operations, which just got ended here, and I'm about to publish a video on that. Now that pogo is gone, the Chinese are gone, and I talk about that in the video and the ramifications of it.
Not all Chinese.
Right. But
Those
basically,
who on
there was a
Pogo, yes.
huge
Investors.
there was a huge hiring window for Filipinas to work in casinos and or in sort of like an escorty or a companion sort of like uh, genre. But in areas like Angeles, say, Koreans are taking over Angeles. So like,
Yeah.
all the girls there are getting scooped up by Korean
Especially in
guys.
the Koreatown.
Right, there's a huge Koreatown there.
It's like all the street
Someone
there's
was
like
even telling
Korean stores.
me last week on the stream. I can't remember the details.
How do you make money?
What part of the Phils is the coconut farm? I'll tell you offline, dude. I don't want to talk about that.
It's a hidden island.
How do we make money? I talked about that on the last live stream. There's a lot of things we do here. Basically, I'm a consultant. I ran BPO operations here for call centers for years. Startup for call centers. Working all like Google accounts, back end Google, high end advertising, Google spend, targeting campaigns for Google advertisers, geo fencing, geo targeting demographics, like how to set up, manage ad campaigns, keywords, analytics, data, all that stuff. What I use for testosterone boost? Raw onions, and the new thing is supposed to be running hills. I eat a lot of meat. I take enough creatine. I take my own, and that's my testosterone boost right there. Um, Running hills is supposed to be the big one. I do HIIT. I do a lot of strength training. I take creatine. We do the ginger juice. I want some ginger juice.
Yes, I just take. And I gave some for my mom as
We
well.
we drink and eat certain things. They say raw onions are the big one. God, there was another one. Must have dropped off my radar. But it's all natural. Mostly, like I did it for a while, the running hills, but I got out of it now that it's rainy season. There's a ways to boost naturally, and most of it has to do with like strength training and eating right, eating meat, eating creatine, carnitine, getting enough zinc, coconuts, coconut oil, and the big one, believe it or not, you get it from watermelons. I take it in a supplement form. It is God damn, it's one amino acid that just pumps you up. It's in watermelon rind. Look it up. I can't remember what it is. I'm drawing a blank. I've been up for since 3 in the morning and it's noon now, and I gotta freaking go to BDC. Annulment, public lawyers, 3 years and not so expensive. Yeah, I believe that. How much is a consultation? I'd love to speak with you. Pick your brain. You seem well. You got two options. You can join this channel as a member at the top tier. It's Manila baby level, and I'll give you a free consultation. Otherwise, it's a mere $45 through U.S. bank account and or PayPal. I should link my new site to the damn video so you can see all that online. Is all that self-taught? All the food and nutrient stuff? Yeah. I mean, I do a lot of research. I've done a lot of testing. We do our electrolyte water stuff. I figured out that blend through trial and error. Um, I studied nutrition for years. Again, trial and error, reading. I read a book early on called Vitamins and Amino Acid Cofactors, and that really made a change. Like, you not only take your vitamins, but then you find out that the vitamins that you're buying in the store are crap for the most part, binders and not really regulated. So, how do you get the right vitamins in conjunction with the other vitamins that you need to metabolize them in conjunction with the amino acids that really allow your body to absorb these things. So the simple example was hydration, right? You could drink a gallon of water a day and you're not going to be hydrated. You have plenty of water in your bloodstream, but are your cells absorbing the water? Not without sodium, not without potassium, not without magnesium, and or zinc in the water. You need electrolytes in the water in order to absorb it into your cells and become hydrated. And that has been the biggest difference for me with all the booze, man. Like all week long, it's just detox, like electrolyte water detox, and then of course the ginger juice. We do the fresh blend of the ginger juice with the lemon and the honey and the cayenne and the occasional liver. It's not really a cleanse, but the whole concept of cleansing is a misnomer. The only way you're going to cleanse anything is a fast, and that's got to be like a 5-day fast. That is it. Like 5-day fasting twice a year, you're good to go. L-carnitine, thank you. It's L-carnitine. L-carnitine is the big one. Raw onions, watermelon, yes. It helps you. It helps build up your testosterone. I've read about citrulline. I haven't supplemented with it. L-arginine, that's the other one. Arginine, thank you. Arginine is the watermelon one, and arginine is the big one for testosterone and or performance down there, if you know what I'm saying. It's literally like nature's Viagra. Nana, your work skills. Really, I'm a builder by trade. Like I'm a master carpenter. My family ran a construction business. That's what I started doing. Master carpenter by trade. I moved into digital. After that, as soon as I saw my first Mac, I'm like, this is what I want to do, and that led me down a very long corporate ladder of going back to school, web programming for business applications, PMI certification, project management, um, data analytics, big data, and then just climbing that corporate ladder for 20 freaking years until my path led me to the Philippines. And on that note, it has been 2 hours and 51 minutes. Thank everyone for joining the stream. A couple of my longtime subscribers, Clyde, Seaside on the stream, uh, S. Scamper joined the stream today, friend of mine, channel member, Cosmic Greg Lee, now Cosmic's Experience on YouTube, my friend Oliver, digital nomad trader. If you want to see what he does in the Philippines to make money, it's very interesting. He has a YouTube channel. You can check out his link. It's green in the chat window because these guys are channel members. Thank you again for the support of the channel and being my friend. Just scrolling through this thing here. I'm going to post it one last time for anyone who missed it. The video that I had to edit 3 freaking times. It still hasn't been approved and has all the ridiculous edits in it that YouTube is flagging me for, which is why I'm thinking of just making channel member only videos, because the amount of work that has gone into editing and re-editing and then re-editing again this one video, re-uploading it, re-exporting it, re-tagging it, all the work that gets done to get a video up 3 times on one video for stupid shit.
Eat while there's no rain.
Pretty rough day on the market today. Yeah, you guys talk about that. We gotta go. We actually have some shopping to do, and
It's 12 now.
it's 12 now, so we've been up for 9 hours.
Been up 6, we've been up 3.
Yeah,
3
9
a.m.
hours. It's 12 hours. We've been up for 12 hours. That's normal. Like
9 hours.
No, yeah, 9 hours.
3.
9 hours.
My
But by the
God,
time
what's
we
your
get
math?
back, it'll be 12 hours. We're on a weird schedule. This 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. for now. But it's been good for the stream. Speaking of the stream, thank you again for joining. and look forward to another stream next week. Probably same bat time, same bat channel. If you know what I'm talking about, right?
Hello, Ollie.
Oliver, let's catch up this week, bro. It's been a while.
You want to go to Lips? It's been a while.
Dude, I feel like we haven't gone out, except for like that tour I did last weekend. We haven't gone out. Like we were doing Wednesday nights for a while. Like,
yeah, but then I changed my schedule. Then
and tonight's Wednesday.
is it? Oh yeah, let's go.
But here's the deal, man. Like, here's the deal. We're like I said, when we get back from Market, it'll be like 3, and we will easily sleep till 9. Like, I'll be beat.
What?
I'm partying
Meal.
less. Let's grab Mexican. Oh, Mexican sounds good, dude. Oh, September 9th or 15th. I forget which one. September 9th or 15th, the new Mexican deal in BGC opens. It's where Bugsy's used to be. I was talking to one of the owners the other night. I am super pumped for that spot because it's the same owners of Dr. Wine BGC, so you know it's going to be good.
Then it's gonna be also pricey.
All right, so it's a little pricey. Someone hit me up with a super chat. We want to go for a pricey dinner. No, it's a joke. No, really, we don't go out that much. So like every now and then, if we go for dinner, it's good Mexican. And Oliver, the other Mexican spot that I'm thinking about, Ernest has been there. It's that tequila. It's TE apostrophe. That's not an apostrophe. That's fucking apostrophe. Tequila is supposed to be like the new high-end tequila bar, best selection of tequila in Manila, right in BGC here. I checked out the menu. It's definitely pricey. They do happy hour specials, and I think they do a Taco Tuesday. And I'm assuming that they are surpassing a Toda Madre as the tequila capital of Manila, according to their social media posts and stuff. But we'll talk offline. I got to get out of here. It's already a long day, and 3-hour stream seems like a lot. I know it's a lot to go back and edit it and put the chapters in and do all the tagging and blah blah blah. But thank you so much for driving the conversation, and thank you so much for joining. And everyone have a great night or day or whatever it is for you, wherever you are. And let's talk more next week about frustrations, desires, and fears that you may have coming to, living in, or visiting the Philippines for the first time. And if you want a consultation about any or all of these things in depth, tailored right to you, check the links in my video descriptions for my Instagram, my Facebook, or my Twitter. And contact me and we'll set something up. Or just the main link on my channel. It's I think it's a tap link. Also has my email in it. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy.
Thank you
We're
so
out.
much.
End stream.
Baboosh.